Well, it's a very exciting time, for, not only for me and the coaches at Independence and the players, but the whole community is just going really, it's been phenomenal. We sold over 2,300 tickets. We only have 1,300 in the town. It's just getting an awful lot of support from everywhere.
This senior group set their goal in January to be in the Louisiana Superdome, and it would have been disappointing not to have been here. So we have accomplished our goal of being here, and now to set out to win a second consecutive AAA state championship is their ultimate goal.
A couple of independents going against the Class 3A finals tonight in the Superdome for the Class 3A championship. Doug Joubert, Renee Nato, as Evangel takes on Independence here in the Superdome. What a heck of a contest. Two 14-0 teams that are taking on each other. You can't ask for anything better than that.
This is going to be an explosive game. I can't wait. There's going to be fireworks in the Superdome, and the place is going to be full of smoke. What a great game for the fans to watch this evening.
Let's start off with the Evangel Eagles. Jelani Lewis, an offensive back who can really pile up the yards.
Jelani Lewis, he's a guy you got to watch. He'll line up into the slot. He'll be a back. He's only 5'7", 165. He runs a 4.5, but he's got 79 grabs on the 1997 campaign.
On the defensive side, Byron Dawson is a young man that you got to watch. Big guy on the defensive line.
And they feel he may be the best offensive lineman in the state of Louisiana. 6'2", 290 pounds, and he reminds you a lot of LSU's Booger McFarland, plays just like him.
And then for the Tigers, you got to look out for this guy. This guy has run everywhere, over 2,000 yards. His name, LeBrandon Tofield.
LeBrandon Tofield, what a load he is. He's already 2,600 yards and 46 touchdowns, and he's only a junior. He'll break it from anywhere in the field, and he is a force to be reckoned with.
On the defensive side, another guy that everybody's looking at, Don Drake.
And Drake is the leading tackler from his nose tackle position, 6'3", 315 pounds, and he's not just a plugger. He will knock you down, and once again, the leading tackler. What a load he is at nose tackle.
Two 14-0 teams going against each other for the 3A state championships. It's Independence and Evangel coming up next to the Gatorade Superdome Classic.
The officials for tonight's game are from the Alexandria Association. The referee is Thomas Howell. The umpire is Billy Laird. The linesman is Rocky Wilson. The line judge is Lee Baxter. The back judge is Charles Moore. The field judge is Bill Gorham. And the clock operator is Paul Ernie.
And will receive. Red will kick it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of the national anthem? We need to kill a band. Would everyone please rise for the playing of the national anthem to be performed by Mr. Teddy Grover, a teacher from Evangel Christian Academy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch, who were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare that our flag was still there. Oh, oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us at midfield for the presentation of the 1997 Sports Care Coaches Award. Representing Sports Care of Louisiana, Sports Care Representative Mike Gallagher. The first award, the 1997 Sports Care Coaches Award, goes to Independence High School head coach Charles Baggs Baglio. The next 1997 Sports Care Coaches Award goes to Evangel Christian head coach Dennis Dunn. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 1997 AAA State Championship game. The visiting team from District 9, AAA, with a record of 14-0, the Independence Tigers. And the home team from District 1, AAA, 14-0, Evangel Christian Eagles.
It's the Independence Tigers and the Evangel Eagles from the Superdome for the 3A championship. Welcome back, Doug Joubert, Renee Nato. Independence has won the toss and elected to receive, and they'll do so on our right. Both teams coming in at 14-0 in this contest. And as we said before, you really can't find a better matchup when you're looking at unbeatens, teams going all the way through the playoffs, and really dominating the playoffs throughout.
This is two teams that absolutely deserve to be here. This is going to be a treat for all the fans watching, because you won't see much better high school football and talent that's going to adorn this field this evening. You're going to see a lot of these players on the next level, and maybe a couple who will be playing on Sunday afternoons in the next few years.
To kick off, Brad Cobb for Evangel. High kick, sails into and out of the hands of LeBrandon Tofield into the end zone for an automatic touchback. Tofield may be a little bit nervous, and Independence will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Let's check the offensive starters for Independence. At wide receiver, Rod Williams. Across the front, Brett Anzalone, Josh Day, Briscoe Brown, Steve Mulkey, and Don Drake. We'll talk about Drake later. Quentin Weatherford is at the tight end spot. The other wide receiver, Kenny Albritton. And in the backfield, Antron Sieber with LeBrandon Tofield and Phil DiMaggio. Sieber, your quarterback. And the lone setback behind him is Tofield. Off the right side, looking for room. And the Tiger Tofield pulls his way to near the 25-yard line. A gain of 5, we'll call it, right at the 25. 2nd and 5 coming up.
And as a good look at LeBrandon Tofield, 6 feet, 220 pounds, negotiates the 40 in 4.4. Who does he run like? Cecil the Diesel Collins. He's got 2,610 yards, 46 touchdowns.
46 touchdowns?
He is the real deal, Doug, and you'll see in the next couple of plays why he's so well thought of, and only a junior.
2nd and 5 at the 25. That's a rollout. Sieber looking downfield and overthrows everybody. Almost a nice catch by one of the coaches from Evangel. It'll be 3rd down and 5 as Sieber decided to roll left, the junior, trying to air it out quickly.
He was dialing long distance for Rod Williams, who's
Ray
got
Stone
great
out there.
leaping ability, but he can't jump that high. He'd had to have an 8-foot vertical to catch that one, and he just threw it a little bit too deep. He had a little pressure on him right here, coming from the corner. That was Cole Pittman, and boy, he took a shot to the chops after he let that ball go.
There were 4 Eagles around him. 3rd and 5. Independence at their own 25. Tofield off the right side. Hit in the backfield. He won't get back to the line of scrimmage. First man there was Chase Beasley from his strong safety position. It'll be 4th and 5. Independence, and they'll have to punt.
And Chase Beasley plays like a strong safety or outside linebacker, comes crashing outside, gets some help from Tyler Satterthwaite, kind of plugs it in. Look, there's big Byron Dawson, who we just spoke about, but Cole Pittman also added. But Chase Beasley, with 108 tackles on the season, was the reason why that play was all clogged up, and they're looking at a punting situation.
Quentin Weatherford back to punt. To receive will be Jelani Lewis and Philip Geiger. No pressure at all. End over ender. Gathered in by Lewis at his 37. Looking for a block. Got one on the near side. Up near the 50 and into Independence territory, where Evangel will set it up 1st and 10 at the 49 of the Tigers. Not a bad punt. Lewis with a very nice, patient return to run back.
A pretty good punt right here. Jelani Lewis, he can kill you from his punt return, kickoff return position. He also plays that slot back, wide receiver, whatever you want to call it. And good looking at him right there. 4.5 speed, 5'7", 165. He is a water bug. If there was such a thing as a team MVP, it would belong to number 4, Jelani Lewis.
We'll check the offensive starters for Evangel in just a moment. On the first down, a 5-receiver set. Nobody is by Berlin, your quarterback, who drops the center immediately. Then throws it out quickly over to Jelani Lewis, who is hit behind the line and dropped for a 4-yard loss. Great closure immediately for Independence. Coming up and making the stop, it looked like, was Ryan Joseph along with Keith McLean.
I think Charles Tofield may have had a hand in here. Right here, watch, number 7, Charles Tofield.
That is Charles Tofield.
Plays off the block, and he fought off number 1. That was Justin Hermes, and made the tackle. And Charles Tofield, yes, he's a younger brother of LeBrandon.
And Berlin under center. Puts a man in motion. That's Lewis. Fakes the pitch. Instead, a little shuffle pass to Lewis. Right up the middle for a gain of a couple. Up near the 49 for gaining the 3 back. Let's go ahead and check the offensive starters. Justin Hermes is wide receiver. Also Corey Berlin, Richard Smith, Jelani Lewis. All of those, along with Nimi Rogers, will be out in the receiving pattern. We'll check the offensive starters and the line in just a moment. 3rd and 10. Way back, about 11 yards back. In the shotgun is Brock Berlin. Looks like the offensive line moved. And now let's go ahead and check the offensive line up. On the across the line, Michael McFerrin, Craig DeSoto, James McKeel, Brett Smith, and Chris Walton. You will not see a tight end probably in this lineup.
Dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense, penalized 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Do they go with 5 receivers the whole time? 4 receivers, 5 receivers?
Yes, they do. I mean, this is, you know, you got some backs, but basically the backs or wide receivers. And the offensive linemen are not very big. Got a couple of 240 guys and 250 guys, but basically they just want to mirror the defensive linemen, get in the way, just disturb them a little bit, and that's all they need, just a second of time.
Brock Berlin, the sophomore quarterback, takes another 3-step drop after setting back 9 yards and zips it downfield. Lewis open and drops it. That was Richard Smith, rather, at the 20, open and dropped it. That was a zinger from the sophomore Berlin, defending on the play Devarius Bess.
And you can see why Brock Berlin, only a sophomore, so highly touted, hit Smith right on the numbers. Smith with 23 touchdowns, 61 catches, and Brock Berlin 49 scoring tosses, only a sophomore, 4,220 yards tosses, and 68% of his passes are complete. Doug, the only one that completes more passes is the center in the shotgun.
Cole Pittman back to punt, back deep to receive. Looks like LeBrandon Tofield. No, it is not. The ball bounces inside the 10 and into the end zone for the touchback, or did it? They're going to say it was stopped at the 2. Oh, what a tremendous play. What a tremendous play. Looked like Mark Miller may have been the man that got that. Instead, it was Philip Maxwell who went back there and stopped the ball from going into the end zone at the 2-yard line after punter Cole Pittman nailed it. Boy, this is a tough place to start in the shadow of your own goalpost. We're underway, 8:31 to go first quarter. Evangel and Independence for the state 3A championship.
And just an outstanding play down here.
That was Mark Miller.
That was Mark Miller, and he's a linebacker, plays
Good
strong
play.
safety, and just really gave it up. And now Independence starting deep in their own territory.
1st and 10 at their own 2. For the Tigers, Tofield is your tailback, dotting the I. He'll get it off the right side. Pyle driving his way close to the 5. Let's go to check the defensive starters for Evangel. Tyler Satterthwaite at the defensive end position, along with Byron Dawson, Stevie Lee, and Cole Pittman across the front. Mark Miller, Marco Coley, and Mike Moore at your linebackers, along with Chase Beasley. Your quarterbacks are Jonathan Vincent and Philip Geiger, and your free safety, Ray Stone. A 4-linebacker, 4-4 set, essentially an 80 defense, right?
Yes.
Gain of 2, make it 3, 2nd down and 7 from the 5. Your quarterback, Antron Sieber, hands off right side. That's Tofield. A little bit of a room across the 5 to near the 8. Coming up and making the stop inside linebacker Mike Moore on the defensive side. Gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
And that's tough running on that side right there. You see everyone closes their gap and just filling in the linebackers. Just, it's tough running at right side right there, running against the left defensive front. You got Stephen Lee, 6'5", 295, a sophomore, and Byron Dawson, they feel the strongest, the best defensive lineman. Doug, 425 bench, 570 squat, great hip strength. I mean, he was the state champ in the shot put, 56-foot toss.
3rd down and 4. Looks like trouble coming. Pass complete into the end zone, and it's going to be a safety. The pass complete into the end zone will be a safety. Praying for it was Sieber, and he was probably hoping that it wouldn't be completed. It was, and a safety will be called.
And Sieber really had nowhere to go. Miller was on him again. He's the one that made that down inside the 2.
Should be a penalty flag, as it was caught by his tackle, Brent Anzalone.
And I guess those tackles don't have an opportunity.
And that's what they're calling.
And those tackles don't have an opportunity to make many catches.
But that was a nice one.
That was a nice catch. He gave it up and caught it, and it was in the end zone. Unfortunately, it was his own end zone.
Wrong way. 6:59 to go first quarter, and the first points belong to the high-scoring Evangel Eagles. 2-0.
You know, Doug, that was the 37th, if you want to call it a sack. They got 36 sacks, and they had this guy sacked back here. Miller comes from the corner. They had him right here, and he just left-handed. You know, you may see this on volleys. It's not much he could do.
No, there isn't much at all.
Antron Sieber just really did the absolute best. That was athletic move just to get rid of it. And they were coming from the corners, a blitz, full of all-out blitz.
Wow. Nice catch.
It was a good catch.
And a little fall to Antron Sieber to kick.
And now it's going to be good field position for the Eagles, the Evangel, and you can't give them good field position to start with.
Sieber to kick off. A squibbler that'll roll across the 40. Lewis picks it up at the 32. Dives across the 45, and the Eagles again with excellent field position. The last possession they had started at the 49 of Independence. This one will start at the Eagles' own 47. 1st and 10, Evangel.
Jelani Lewis is such a weapon, Doug. He's got 28 touchdowns, 9, make that 18 rushing touchdowns, 10 catches for touchdowns. You know, he can do it all. We mentioned 79 catches, 79 catches, grabs. He can kill you so many ways.
An 8-yard drop already by Brock Berlin, the quarterback. He's almost in punt formation. And he drops even more. Quick zip out near side. That's to his wideout. Not much to go on as he gets up near the line of scrimmage, and not much more for Corey Berlin, the senior who came over to the near side. He's brought down by Ryan Joseph. Related?
I'm sure that's a brother tandem there. They work on it, kind of like the Manning brothers. But Corey Berlin with 75 catches himself, 10.28 yards per grab. So that knee was mighty close. But, you know, they just that program works so well, and some of these guys have been in the shadows of Abram Booty and other fine receivers for the years.
2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. Berlin, quick drop again, complete near side. That's Richard Smith. He gets up into Independence territory at the 49 and driven back. Nothing but white jerseys around him, one of them Antoine Smith. I've only seen 3 men on the defensive line of scrimmage so far.
Well, you got to do that against a team like this. They open it up, and good shot at James McKeel, that center. We'll talk about him in just a little bit. But Richard Smith, a good, he's got 2 men right in his territory, right in his zone, and a good tackle made by Antoine Smith, who came from his right defensive end position.
Only a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 6 at the Independence. 49 to the wishbone go the Eagles. They'll try the near side. Lewis, he gets close to the 1st down, but I believe he'll be a half-yard shy when Lewis's knee touched the ground. They'll mark it at about the 43-yard line as Nathan Hatfield came up from his linebacker position, the senior, for Independence to make the stop. It'll be 4th down and about a half-yard to go.
You see how talented Jelani Lewis is. Not really big, but he's got a lot of drive in that leg. He carried Antoine Smith with him over the right side. Good blocking on the right side by Brett Smith and Chris Walton. And it's going to be short of a 1st down, but you can bet they're going for it.
They're going to call the change in anyway with 5:28 to go in the 1st quarter. Evangel up 2-zip because of a safety just a few moments ago. This is the resulting possession for Evangel.
You look at Brock Berlin, and there's the measurement right there. Brock Berlin grew up in the Evangel family. He's, he's got a strong arm. He's a little bit taller, the total package than Philip Dees, the quarterback last year, who went on to play for North Carolina. Very similar to Josh Booty. And if you want to talk about his release and his mechanics, you got to look at Joe Ferguson, who's now one of the coaches at Louisiana Tech, played at Arkansas, and
played the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, and he does a great job. And he watched his predecessors, Philip Dees and Josh Booty, and really outstanding job.
4th down and about a half a yard, as we told you. They brought the chains in anyway. And it'll be 4th and about a half yard at the 43 of Independence. And Evangel will go for it. They look like they're going to try to set up in that wishbone again, where they picked up about 5 yards last time. They are. Berlin, your quarterback. He may have been trying to change the play or call Independence offsides. Let's see what he changes here. Fullback up the middle. He's going to be close. No, he won't. I don't know. Holy cow, this is close at the 43. I don't know if he got it. I really don't know if he got it. That was Demi Rogers who carried it, and they're going to call him in. I don't think he got the 1st down.
His knee may have touched before.
Where they're spotting it right now, it does not look like he'll have the 1st down. Great defensive stand by Independence.
Really good, and Don Drake, Antoine Smith, Hunter, Courtney, and Falcone really clogged that middle.
It just wasn't much to go on.
Made it tough going.
Yeah. Here's the measurement. Nope. Football length shot. 1st down, Independence. A great defensive stand. The Eagles still up 2-zip. But Independence in this 3A championship game will have it.
And his knee went down right there, and you can credit a great surge. That looked like Mulkey made the initial surge, initial contact there, and that may have stopped it. It kind of a backbreaker a little bit temporarily for the Evangel Eagles, but now Independence get a shot in the arm, and we'll see what they can do with this.
The Tigers have scored 40 or more points in 9 of its 14 games this season. It's scored 60 points 3 times this year, more than 60. And the Tigers will set it up 1st and 10 at their own 43 and call a timeout because there's mass confusion on the offensive side of things. 5:07 to go in this 1st quarter. Watch, it's 2-0. Evangel over Independence at the Gatorade Superdome Classic.
Life.
Independence calling their first time out of the ball game to try to regroup on offense. They're just taking over now, 1st and 10 on downs from Evangel at their own 43. Your quarterback, Antron Siebert. Back to pass, short drop. Has a man far side and short hops it. Over to the far side to his tight end on the play, Lionel Joseph, the junior, actually playing flanker on the far side, but it lined up real close, almost like a wing.
And Siebert just released the ball a little bit too low here as Miller just leaped through the air and was knocked it away, and Lionel couldn't come up with it. You know, we talk so much about the talent on Evangel's team, but look at the great coaches they have. Ronnie Alexander, who's the defensive coordinator, was the defensive coordinator at Northeast and Northwest Louisiana, was an All-American linebacker at Louisiana Tech, and Denny Durham, who runs the offense, was the offensive coordinator at Louisiana Tech.
And a great quarterback. Tofield in the backfield escapes from one tackle, a second, runs over a man, and after he should have been brought down for a 5-yard loss, picks up 3 on the play. It'll set up a 3rd down and 7.
And he broke a tackle from Cole Pittman, number 44, 6'4", 256 pounds. He's super quick, but not quick enough to bring down Tofield. Tofield, they say 4'4", 40, but he runs under control. Again, you're looking at Cecil Collins. This guy, he broke a tackle, 6'3", 256, and then he runs away from Satterthwaite, who's no slouch at 6'2", 223. And finally, big Byron Booger Dawson.
Booger?
Well, they said he looks like Anthony McFarland, Booger McFarland, so go ahead and call him Booger. He makes the tackle, and he lost 30 pounds, Doug, but Dawson still weighs in at 290.
3rd and 6, the pressure's on. Escaping it is Sieber. He's throwing it up for grabs, down deep, and it's caught! What a catch by Kenny Albritton. 21-yard line is where they'll finally spot it. It was a jump ball at the 25. Gain of 34.
And Kenny Albritton, why is he so good? This is his first year out for football, an all-district basketball player for the Tigers of Independence. Just out-leaps the opponents, takes it away from a couple of pretty good defenders. That's Vincent and Geiger, and nearly went into the end zone, but Ray Stone put the stop to that. But it's at the 21-yard line, and Independence is banging on the door, Doug.
3:55 and counting to go, first quarter. Evangel up 2-zip, but Independence on the move. Tofield trying the wide side, hit hard, dropped. He'll get back to the line, maybe. We've already mentioned this guy's name, and that's Cole Pittman. He really clobbered him.
Cole Pittman shut the door on him, and Cole Pittman, just a junior, super quick. He played tight end back in 1996, so he's got good lateral movement. Got 75 tackles to his credit coming into this game, and did a great job shutting the door.
You know, you plan at the beginning of the year to have the number 1 and number 2 teams meet in the championship game, and that's exactly what we have right here in number 1 Evangel and number 2 Independence. Wow.
Good look at Tofield. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
2nd down and 10 at the 21. Siebert back to pass, going for it all, far side. Can he get it there? Nope. 2 people falling opposite ways. As Albritton fell one way, and the defender fell the other way. That was Philip Geiger.
Geiger's quite a story. Started as a freshman. He had 11 interceptions in 96. He's got 10 picks in 97.
This one just sort of fell one way and then went the other.
You know, they feel like it, only a sophomore, 4'5", 40, but they feel like he plays a lot like Doug Evans, who now plays for the Green Bay Packers, a former Louisiana Tech star. And they feel like Philip Geiger, one day he will be playing on Sunday afternoons, might be in the Superdome.
Siebert better get it on real quickly. A 4 wide receiver set on his 3rd and 10 from the 21. Back to pass. Good protection. Zips it far side. Got a man. That's Tofield. First down inside the 10. Good look and a great pass from Siebert to Tofield inside the 10 to the 9-yard line for an 11-yard completion.
And Marco Coleman was there, the outside linebacker, or the rather he's the inside linebacker. Good catch. And as Marco bumps him out of bounds, and Philip Geiger was there to make sure. But you can see LeBrandon Tofield is the total package. Can do it running or catching the ball. Got soft hands. 6 feet, 220 pounds.
Officially a 12-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 9. To the power I we go. Tofield dotting it. Right side. Hitting the backfield. Dropped. Right at the line of scrimmage. Tremendous defensive surge by the line. And a really good job coming up and making the stop by a host of red jerseyed Eagles.
And the best form tackler on the team, Mike Miller, right here, makes the tackle. That pursuit, as you mentioned, made him bounce it outside, and Miller was right there. They all playing gaps, and he's playing the outside gap and playing outside in, and did a great job. And Mike Miller make that Mark Miller makes another tackle, and not a big guy, plays a little strong safety outside linebacker. Good look at Coach, and it's done.
2nd down and goal from the 9. Tofield right side, boom, hit hard, but he breaks the tackle, bounces off to the outside as the ball comes free, and it's a touchdown. My bad, I thought that was Tofield that had the ball, but instead it was Sieber who took it all the way into the end zone for the touchdown on the nice fake to Tofield.
And Antron Sieber, the junior, great job exhibiting that 4-5 speed, good fake, sucked everybody inside, and as Sieber didn't fake number 25, Ray Stone out, who couldn't make the tackle, and here you see a pursuit put on by Mike Moore, just not equal to that 4-5 speed as he hits the corner, and Antron Sieber puts the Tigers up on the #1 team in the state, Evangel, 6-2.
That comes with 2:04 to go in the first quarter. Independence showing a little bit of confusion on what to do on the extra point. Looks like they want to go for 2. They may have to call another timeout if they don't hurry up. They will. Independence has to call a timeout before anything can happen. Nope, they got to delay a game.
I guess that makes a decision for you now.
Yeah, it does. So they have to kick it now. Quentin Weatherford is your kicker. That was one heck of a run.
And he's getting a congratulations from Coach Baggs, Charlie Baglio, and you can see Sieber just
outrunning him, huh?
Outrunning the outstretched hands of Mike Moore, and he just couldn't catch up with him. And Mike Moore is no slouch. He's a super strength, really hits from his linebacker position, but couldn't get outside quick enough to stop the much quicker 6'1", 170-pound junior quarterback, Antron Sieber.
Quentin Weatherford to hold, pardon me, the kick. And that'll be out of the hold of Rod Williams. Another delay being called now against Independence. You don't normally see this out of Coach Baggs. After coaching for 19 years, you don't normally see this kind of confusion, and I have a funny feeling Charlie Baglio is really upset about this going on. Out of the hold of Rod Williams, now would essentially be a 30-yard field goal for an extra point. And there's plenty of leg, and it's no good off to the left. With 2:04 to go in the first quarter, Independence is on the board 6-2 over Evangel in the Class 3A state championship game at the Gatorade Superdome Classic. Independence with a 6-2 lead over the Evangel Eagles in a very nice little drive they put together there, Renee.
57 yards, 8 plays, 3:03 up the clock. The final play was a Antron Sieber 9-yard scamper. The kick was no good, so with 2:04 remaining in the first stanza, Independence takes the lead over Evangel 6-2 in the 3A title game here in the Superdome.
When you came into this one, did you think there'd be a lot of offense, a lot of defense, or a mixture, or what? Which one?
I thought there'd be a lot of big plays, but not a lot of scoring. In other words, you probably have the winner in scoring the 20-point range.
Okay, let's see how well you predict that. Deep kick taken back there by Evangel's Philip Geiger. Aiming for the 20, he never gets there. He was spun around hard at the 14-yard line by Chris Bonds, a freshman that comes in for Independence. So Evangel takes over 1st and 10. Their offense really never getting cranked as of yet.
And here's Geiger trying to run it back a little bit. Discussion here between Nehemiah Rogers and Geiger. And Geiger's trying to cut it outside. A tackle made. Well, I tell you, he scooted around before he was finally brought down. But both teams averaging in the 40s points per game.
1st and 10 at their own 14. There's Berlin way back in the shotgun. Zips it near side. That's Lewis and a flag down. Hold on. That stops everything before the play ever starts. Somebody encroached. And for Independence, it looks like Keith McLean is pointing toward Evangel, and the officials agree. A minute 53 to go first quarter.
Dead ball.
These two
Illegal
teams,
procedure on the offense. Penalized 5 yards. First down.
which have averaged, as you said, over 40 points a game, have not put a lot of points in the first, 10 minutes of this one.
For Independence, averaging 42 points per outing. Evangel, 47 points per game, so they can light it up.
First and 15 from their own 9. And there's Berlin standing at his goal line to receive this snap. Looking downfield, he'll zip it long for anybody that's back there. Jump ball at midfield, and the jump ball is won once again by Independence, Kenny Albritton. Albritton once again winning the jump ball as he did for a reception just moments ago.
Well, Berlin, 49 touchdown tosses, 10 interceptions, and he throws one out, he airs one out here, and kind of throws it up for grabs a little bit.
Boy, he was hit too.
And Smith couldn't come down with it, but Albritton did. A battle between a pair of 8s, and Independence came down with the good side. You know, Berlin just has tremendous arm strength, and when Evangel, you can see right here, he got really kissed. Oh,
ripped.
Wow. He took a shot by Courtney, number 90, 6'3", 270, wrapped his frame around him.
First and 10, Independence, near midfield, zips it far side. Here's Albritton again. Jump ball near the 45. He'll be close to a first down near the 40. Tell you what, that pass was a zipper that could have been picked off, but Albritton got it, climbed the ladder, and took it.
He runs a 4.440. That's his second grab, Albritton. We mentioned he hasn't been playing football very long because he's been on the hardwood for the Independence Tigers, but he knows just where to go, and he finds the seam right here between a pair of Beagles before they just engulf him and bring him to the ground, and Jonathan Vincent and Geiger made the tackle. But Antron Sieber, with a tremendous game plan, is really carrying out Coach Charlie Baglio's offensive scheme.
First down as the Tigers pick it up just outside the Eagles' 40-yard line. Sieber will bring him up with Tofield the lone setback. Tofield has not had one of his more impressive games. 7 carries, 15 yards. Let's see what he gets here. Up the middle on the draw, boom, hit hard as he gains maybe a yard or two. I counted 5 hats on him. I counted at least 5 hats. One of the first to get there was Mark Miller, the strong safety. But there were at least 4 others that were there at pretty close to the same time. You think they're keen on number 2?
Number 36 is shadowing number 2. You can bet on that, and he's one of the best form tacklers, if not the best. And look, he's been on every tackle. That's the way you teach. Just right, kisses him head on, and drives him back, and he's joined by his red jersey Evangel teammates.
Gain of 2 officially. It'll be 2nd and 8 as we run down to the last 35 seconds of this first quarter. Independence up 6-2. Tofield the lone setback. Sieber back to pass. Pressure's on. Zips it over the middle. Almost picked off. Climbing the ladder there was Jonathan Vincent, the junior. He's 6'3", and he used just about every inch of his frame to get his hands on that one and almost pick it off.
Jonathan Vincent with 3 interceptions to his credit. Antron Sieber was lucky to get away with an incompleted pass. He could have been, and you see Miller right there with the heat, and it went right between his hands. Jonathan Vincent not only does it on the football field, he also excels in the spring. He's a pitcher, an all-district pitcher for the Evangel baseball squad.
And that pitch was a little bit high and outside. 3rd down and 8. Independence at the 38 of Evangel. Everybody's coming. The blitz is on. Sieber trying to get away, and he won't. Too many red jerseys back there as they trap him behind the line. One of the first to get there was Philip Maxwell from his middle linebacker position, but also there was Cole Pittman.
Cole Pittman comes up with sack number 4, but you can see blitzing on a full blitz, all-out blitz with Philip Maxwell. He chased him around, and Cole Pittman got credit for some of that sack, but 36 sacks. That's number 37. 36 sacks on the season. Evangel, they really sell out, and they come off blitzing off the bus, and they really do an outstanding job. And well, they'll shoot their corners, their safeties, their outside linebackers. They're really, really tough on defense.
16-yard loss, and that'll set up the punting team for Independence as Quentin Weatherford is in there. But hold on, the quarter has come to an end. We won't get this punt off. We've completed a dozen minutes in this 3A final game, and Independence finds itself on top. The Tigers 6, Evangel 2. The Gatorade Superdome Classic.
Everyone who gave of their time and efforts to promote and conduct this year's Classic. The Gatorade Classic could not have been possible without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1997 souvenir t-shirts on sale in the main corridors. If you look on your video screen, instant replays, there's a shot of the 1997 state championship t-shirt being modeled by Miss Brittany Lingo. State championship t-shirts on sale near entrances gate A, G, and C. Get them while we got them.
And on the punt, Lewis receives it at the 20 and runs it back to near the 24-yard line. Off the foot of Weatherford. Lewis runs it back near the 25, and Evangel will take it over 1st and 10. We start the second quarter of play with Independence up 6-2 over the Evangel Eagles. Independence coming in the number 2 ranked team in the state, that is, in 3A, with Evangel number 1. And we'll start things out in the shotgun, where we've seen Berlin just about all game long. He's 9 yards behind the line. 5 receiver set, nobody next to him. Straight back. Complete. That's Justin Hermes across the 30, near the 34-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down as Nathan Hatfield, the senior, comes up from his linebacker slot to make the tackle.
And a good shot by Brock Berlin. They throw a lot of underneath stuff. Once again, Evangel tossing the ball 40 to 45 times per game. They throw to set up the run. Most run to set up the throw. They go backwards. But a lot of underneath stuff. They face a lot of zone and a lot of underneath coverage. They had to come back against St. James to win the game, but a 29-game winning streak, Doug, on the line.
2nd and 1 from their own 34. Berlin back to throw again. 3-man rush all day. He'll run and have the first down across the 35 to near the 37-yard line. Maybe the 38, but enough for the first down in the 3.5-yard gain. And I don't know if you want Berlin running, though, huh?
No, you don't want him running. His forte is tossing the ball. And good shot from James McKeel. I want to give a little credit. A lot of time up there for the offensive front. And the best in the lot is James McKeel, a 6'1", 247-pounder, looking at Louisiana Tech, Tulane, McNeese, Northeast, and Northwest Louisiana. Bench presses 385, squats 550. They feel he is one of the best in the state, if not in this entire South.
4 receivers to the wide side, the far side of the field. 1st and 10. Berlin, a 3-man rush is all. Looking, now he'll run again. He's up across the 40, got a little bit of room across the 45, and ducks to the 46. Coming up and sticking him there is Keith McLean from his linebacker slot, also Charles Tofield, the sophomore. A gain of 8, it'll set up a 2nd down and 2. You know, when you have a 3-man defensive rush like this, that means you've got 8 men back there to defend against 5 players.
Right, and you got to find the seams to wear, and a little pressure right there as Antoine Smith breaks free and trying to clear him. You see Berlin trying to give him a little block. Takes a kiss from Charles Tofield.
2nd down and 2 from their own 46. They'll try the run. 2nd man through Lewis. He'll have the first down to the 49. Gain of 3 on the play. Nathan Hatfield, the senior linebacker, comes up and makes the stop. 9:55 to go, 2nd quarter. Evangel down 6-2 to Independence. But the Eagles with the ball now, putting together what I would consider the best drive so far.
Yeah, Jelani Lewis with a little run there quick, set up a pass, which will be certainly a pass right now on 1st down. But boy, everybody is fire when you got 4 receivers. They got dual receivers left and right.
Berlin sends Lewis in motion on his 1st and 10 from his own 49. Drops another 3 yards back. Zip. Wide open. 1st down inside the 30 is Corey Berlin, the brother of Brock, the older brother. And he dives to near the 31-yard line where it'll be 1st and down. First down after a 20-yard gain.
And that's Corey Berlin. He's a possession receiver. He's always finds the seam. He's an overachiever, a self-made wide receiver. Abram Booty, who's now at LSU, a freshman starter, kind of took him under his wing, Doug, and he always asked questions. Corey always asked questions to Abram Booty, and Abram was kind of a role model for him, and finds himself in a senior leadership role himself. 9 touchdown catches, 75 catches on the season, and 10.2 yards every time he makes a grab.
Berlin yelling something to one of his receivers and sends Lewis in motion on this 1st and 10 at the 31. Back in the shotgun. Berlin looking all day, zips it near side, almost picked off. Boy, that was a close one. Did you see Charles Tofield looking at the end zone the other way, maybe?
Well, he was looking to do a celebration down the sidelines, but Jelani Lewis went from offense to defense. Had he not batted that away, Charles Tofield was headed down the sidelines. But Jelani Lewis, you can see, he went from offense to defense. Look, right here, instead of making a catch, he had to make a grab and kind of swat it away. And a good play by Jelani Lewis saved a sure touchdown.
Tofield was going the other way. 2nd down and 10 at the 31 of Independence. Berlin back in that shotgun. And the ever-present 5-receiver set for him. Short drop. Little wide receiver screen across the middle. Hermes, he's got the first down across the 20, the 15 to the 14. Not a bad pickup of 17 yards as Kenny Albritton comes up and makes the stop.
Justin Hermes, he broke his collarbone in August. He missed the first 6 games of the 1997 season, came back. He is an Abram Booty clone. He's only got 25 grabs, 17 yards every time he makes a catch, but 3 touchdowns, very important. Only a sophomore, and he's going to be good before he leaves.
Berlin back to the wishbone now. Only 2 receivers out. They'll try Lewis on the draw. Hit as he crosses the line and maybe gained a yard. The first one's up there to make the stop was Keith McLean, but also coming in and hitting him hard before he ever got to the line was Antoine Courtney.
Now Keith McLean is a linebacker, left outside linebacker, 4.7 speed, and among his suitors are Nichols State. And Darren Barbier is in a press box somewhere around. Real physical guy.
Yeah, I got to see him a little while ago, he and his son.
Darren really has done an outstanding job for the Colonels, and Keith McLean is one of those guys who may be considering the Colonels to hire his education.
At the wishbone, 2nd and 8. Berlin back to pass out of the wishbone. Still only a 4-man rush. Zips it over the middle. Almost picked off by Albritton again. That one intended over the middle for Corey Berlin, but Albritton had his paws on that one and almost got his 2nd pick of the game.
He came in with 4 interceptions, got 1 already, and again, this is a young man who's playing his first year of high school football. What a career he hopes to have. 5'10", 150-pounder, 4.4 speed, though, and great break on the ball. Stepped right in front of Corey Berlin. He only had an interception, which would have been a big play.
A timeout called by Evangel with 8:19 to go in this 2nd quarter of play. And Berlin looking all over the place. It's a 6-2 Independence lead over Evangel. The Class 3A Gatorade Superdome Classic Championship game. $8:19 to go in the first half. Evangel calling their first time out of the game. Will set it up 3rd down and 8 at the 12.5 Independence. Berlin in the shotgun. 4-receiver set, a man back in the backfield with him. Back to throw. Berlin rolling out. Looking for the end zone. Looking, throwing, complete. Touchdown, Jelani Lewis. These guys are fun to watch, aren't they?
And that's touchdown toss number 50, if I'm correct, to Jelani Lewis. And Jelani Lewis comes down with yet another touchdown catch. That is his 11th touchdown catch in this 29th overall touchdown of the season as you prepare for the extra point conversion. 8:13 to go. It's 8-6 Eagles.
Brad Cobb on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Mike Moore. Very happy Berlin. And it's up and good. 8:13 to go in this first half. And Evangel retakes the lead, 9-6 over Independence. The Class 3A championship game of the Gatorade Superdome Classic. $8:13 to go in this first half. It's Independence now down 9-6 to Evangel. Doug Joubert, Rene Nadeau. That drive, an impressive one, but as usual, Evangel doesn't take much time off the clock.
75 yards in 10 plays, 3:37 off the clock. The final play was a toss from Berlin to Jelani Lewis. Extra point was good. 8:13 to go here in the 2nd quarter. 9-6 Evangel over Independence in the 3A title game for the Superdome.
And Brad Cobb to kick off from the south side 40. Got a good leg on this kid. His last kickoff didn't sail into the end zone, but I've seen quite a few of his that have. Back deep. Who else? LeBrandon Tofield. This one won't be returned. Automatic touchback in high school, and so Independence will start at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 with 8:13 to go in this first half. Evangel up 9-6, retaking the lead. The Eagles had started out with a 2-0 lead after a safety. Then Independence comes back, and after scoring on a 9-yard run by Sieber, they had a couple of delay of game penalties that backed them up to the 20-yard line and ended up trying an extra point that was essentially a 30-yard field goal that failed. And then, of course, the Eagles jump right back and take the lead, 9-6. Independence with the ball now at their own 20, 1st and 10. Tofield the lone setback. Drops the pitch. It's on the ground. Who's got it? Scrambling. Evangel's got it. That's a big son of a gun to gather that one in, Byron Dawson. They list him at 320, Renee.
Well, I know it. I was told he lost some weight to get down to a good fighting weight with another big fumble recovery. He's got a 3.0 grade point average, so he's very cerebral. He's very aware of things, and he knows just where he has to be. Boy, he wants to tuck that ball and go and be a la Fridge, but his knee was already down.
And Independence calls a timeout to try to regroup. I like that idea. 8:06 to go, second quarter. Evangel with the ball up 9-6 over Independence in the Class 3A state championship game of the Gatorade Superdome Classic.
WD brand beef is raised in the West, but it's fluent in a lot of languages. WD brand beef from Winn-Dixie, the beef people.
Independence calling their second timeout of the ball game. 8:06 to go. There's the fumble.
That ball looked like a ping pong ball in the bathtub. Doug, it bounced all over the place. And finally, Big Dawson put his paws on it. Booger Dawson comes up with it for Evangel.
Berlin in the shotgun to try to add to Evangel's lead. He's going to do the quarterback draw. He's hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Independence read that extremely well. The Tigers' Don Drake comes up from his nose guard position to make the tackle. Hold on, a penalty flag, though, coming up against Evangel.
And Don Drake wrapped his 6'3", 315-pound frame around Berlin, and he kind of put the brakes to that real quickly, but good shot at Berlin right there. Only a sophomore. You know, they feel he could be one of the best.
Holding.
There's a freshman
On the offense.
waiting the wing.
Penalized 10 yards. Repeat first down.
175 pounds. They feel like he'll be the next great quarterback to step through. And yet there's another Booty brother who's in the Evangel program. So it's unbelievable. They just
like a factory.
They just reload.
Holding called against Evangel, dropping him back 10 yards to the 23. So it'll be 1st and 20 from the 23. All you're doing is giving them more room to work, though, unfortunately. And Berlin is dropping back in that ever-present shotgun with 5 receivers. That's Smith in motion. Quick wide receiver screen to Berlin. He'll throw it again. I don't know if that was legal. And the pass is incomplete. I don't know if Berlin was not ahead of the other Berlin when the ball was passed. But it falls incomplete in the end zone to Smith. It'll be second down and 20.
Well covered by All-Britain. And you can see right here as Berlin throws it to the older Berlin, and he kind of airs it out.
I think that was passed forward.
All-Britain was closer to the ball than Smith was.
What do you think? You don't think, do you?
I'm trying to get him in bad habits.
Okay. Second down and 20. Berlin back in that shotgun again, and he doesn't like what he sees, so he calls a timeout. Clock was running down. 7:34 to go in the second quarter. And the Eagles, with their second timeout of the game, that leaves both teams with a timeout apiece. Evangel up 9-6 over Independence. A game that matches up two teams that are highly explosive, averaging over 40 points a game, both of these squads. Evangel loves to run. Evangel likes to throw. Independence loves to run. And you have two contrasting offenses. And right now you have 15 points between the two.
Yeah, that's what I said. I still think it's surprising. I may be wrong, but even though both teams came in here putting up big explosive numbers, 89 points between them per game, I don't think it's going to be that high of a scoring affair. Two good defenses. Evangel is the number 13 team in the country by USA Today. Denny Dunn, an outstanding job. He's in his 6th season, 76-8, posted 76-8. That's, boy, I tell you, that's some.
I like that do-rag.
Rough riders there, buddy. And at Woodlawn, he was 32-18. Evangel has won 4 out of 5 state championship games. They are very familiar with the Superdome here in Pointers.
Second down and 20. Evangel at the 23 of Independence. Berlin back in that shotgun. He'll roll out this side. Looking for the end zone, under pressure now. Zips it back there to anybody in particular? Not really. There are 3 Tigers and 2 Eagles, and it falls incomplete. The closest man to it was Richard Smith.
You can't rattle this young man. He's very mature for a sophomore. As Antoine Smith just kind of gave it up, and you see he's getting also a lot of pressure from Courtney, just over the outstretched arms of Smith. But Berlin really way ahead of his sophomore status. Checks off, reads very well, and got good vision, peripheral vision of the entire field. Knows where he's got to throw.
3rd and 20 from the 23. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. 1 man back there in the backfield is Rogers. They're all in the pattern, though. Near side pass complete. That's Smith. He's downed immediately at the 13. Nice tackle, secure one by Charles Tofield, the sophomore defensive back. It'll set up a 4th down, and we'll call it 10 at the 13.
Richard Smith really has some great routes. He's very explosive, got good hands. He'll be a blue chipper in 1998, but you know, he was the long jump runner-up in the district. So he's got great leg strength, good explosion, and can get up fly pretty good. He also 305 in the power clean, so don't surprise him by his diminutive size.
6:51 to go in this first half, and Evangel calls a timeout, up 9-6 with a 4th down facing them in the Class 3A state finals. .651 to go in the first half. Evangel up 9-6 over Independence, as the Eagles have used their 3rd and final timeout of this first half, trying to figure out what they'll do on this 4th and 10 from the 13. Gee, should we throw or throw?
Well, I told you before at the beginning of the game, the only one who completes more passes is the center. You know, this kid is unbelievable. Berlin knows where to find his seam. 68% of his tosses. Good look at Coach Dennis Dunn right there and his staff, an outstanding staff he has assembled. 5
receivers set for Berlin. Real deep drop, looking over the middle. Complete. Will he have the first down, though? It's very, very, very close. As diving for the ball on the very last second was Corey Berlin. Ooh, that's going to be close. Justin Hermes thinks they have it. He's pointing the other way.
And Brock Berlin dials to Corey Berlin. Corey Berlin, who's committed to the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. He'll be playing his college football up in Ruston. Makes a big grab near the first down mark. And boy, I tell you what, if they don't get this one.
Oh, nose of the football. Got it.
Woo, that's by a sniffle. He got that by a sniffle, buddy. That's a credit card there. I mean, you could stick a, you know.
Whatever, anything.
A napkin,
stuff.
yes,
yeah.
Napkin.
6:43 to go first half. And Evangel picks up an important first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 3. And Berlin brings him up in the wishbone. Now they shift out into a single back set. That's Lewis behind him. He'll take the handoff to the right side and get near the end zone. Did he get in? No. They said he touched at the 1-yard line before he bounced into the end zone. So it'll be second and goal, just inside the 1.
And, you know, they probably will run again. Jelani Lewis here just kind of water bugging his way through. Just, he hit the ground and then, but I wouldn't be surprised on a second down here that Berlin might hit the corners with a pass.
Berlin sending it up in the shotgun again. Receivers either side. No tight end. Berlin sneaks it into the end zone for the touchdown. But hold on. The officials never threw a flag. I didn't see a flag hit the ground. But apparently, there's one. And apparently it happened before the ball was snapped.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the defense, calling signals.
Ooh, you don't hear that too often.
Penalized distance, still second down.
So half the distance of half a yard would be,
yes.
Okay.
It's not exactly a costly penalty.
No.
But
here's the flag. So they're saying that the defense was calling the signals, which you can't do. So it'll be second and goal from the 2-inch line. With the clock running with 5:45 to go in this first half. Berlin snuck it in last time. He'll try to do it this time, and he does. Evangel and Independence met last year in the semifinals. The Eagles winning that one 42-31 in a high-scoring affair. So far, though, only 21 points between the two in this first half. And Cobb on for the extra point. They set up the gate. You got to watch for everything with these guys, don't you?
Good snap here by Akio.
He's a great snapper. He gets plenty of practice, doesn't he? And it's good. 5:42 to go in the first half. The Eagles have opened up a 16-6 lead over the Tigers in the Class 3A state championship game of the Gatorade Superdome Classic. Angel with a 16-6 lead off of that drive that you wondered if it was going to falter there on the 4th and 10 play, but came through like gangbusters.
13 yards in 6 plays, 2:24 off the clock, and the 6-inch dive by
Brock
Berlin.
Maybe 2-inch. I don't know.
2-inch dive by Brock Berlin. Extra point was good. 5:42 to go here before the halftime break, and Evangel with a 16-6 lead over Independence. Number 1 and number 2 here for the state title at the Louisiana Superdome here on Pointers.
You know, I'll point this out in just a moment about the deep snaps that have been going on for Evangel as Cobb gets ready to kick off from the south side 40. I don't know if this one will be run back either. Nope, touchback. You know, I've been watching this ever since our statistician Paul Page pointed it out. He said, watch the snap from the center, James McKeel. Watch his snap. It's like almost throwing the football the way he snaps the football. It goes back to Berlin so quickly. And I want to watch that next time to see how quickly he snaps that ball, how he grips it. I'll tell you, you got to get back there fast if he's 9 yards back, huh?
Well, you know, he's got a lot of practice because they do throw so much, and most of their throws are made from the shotgun formation, which makes him a really hot item on the next level. And we mentioned Louisiana Tech, Tulane, McNeese, Northeast, Northwest are among his suitors, and he'll make a good one at the next level.
1st and 10. That's an attempt by Tofield. It barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage, or does he? Nope, off the left side. Tofield didn't even make it back to the 20 as Mark Miller comes up from his strong safety position to make another stop.
I want to mention there's one guy who is sitting out and is not playing in uniform for Independence, and he was a vital part of the success this season. Kerry Watkins has a torn ligament in his knee. His 6'6", 265-pounder, even though he is missing this game. Pittsburgh, Tulane, Miami, LSU, and Louisiana Tech has offered him. Louisiana Tech has offered, so he will be a great player, even though it's not suited out. Emotionally, he is among his teammates for this game.
Tofield off the right side, breaking tackles across the 30. Look at him go. 35-38. Finally dropped downfield by Cole Pittman, the junior. But Tofield shows why he is such a great back.
That is Cecil the Diesel Collins, and he's going to be great his senior season. because he's good his junior season, 2,600 yards. And
not bad for a junior.
Not bad. Look, he keeps his feet. Great leg drive. You just can't bring him down. Good balance, and he just will not be denied.
First and 10. Independence at their own 37-yard line. I formation behind your quarterback, Sieber. Back to throw. Pump and go. He's got a man open downfield if he can get it to him. That's Albritton. Got it. 20, down to the 16. Good little pump and go as Albritton did a curl at the 45 and then just kept running. And he was wide open downfield for a big 47-yard gain.
And he gets a little mobile here, gets out of the pocket and looking downfield and finds Albritton in the moonlight, and Geiger catches up with him. Good thing Geiger's got that extra gear with the 4.5 speed, makes the tackle, saves a sure touchdown, and boy, wow, he took a shot to the chops from Chase Beasley as he released the ball.
Sieber with his third completion of the game. That's Tofield trying the middle up to the 14 maybe. They'll call it the 15 for a gain of 1. That'll set up a 2nd down and 9 as Byron Dawson joins a slew of other red jerseyed Eagles to make the stop. 4:03 and counting to go in the first half.
And has a good tackle. Dawson is an interesting story. As a sophomore, he threw the shot 38 feet. Through hard work, he became the state champ as a junior with a 56-yard toss. Among his suitors, LSU, Tulane, Arkansas, Louisiana Tech, Mississippi State, Tennessee, all have offered the big defensive lineman.
2nd and 9. Sieber back to pass. Near side pass, well overthrown. And not anywhere near his intended receiver, Rod Williams. Took a little bit of a kiss there at the end of the play anyway. 3:35 to go in this first half. Evangel with a 16-6 lead over Independence.
Great up front, two great lines here. We mentioned Byron Dawson. Steve Lee will be a great one in 99. Tyler Satterwhite, another one, who is a 4.7 speed on the outside of starter since his freshman year. And of course, Cole Pittman, only a junior, will be back for 98.
3rd and 9 at the 15, Independence. I formation. Sieber back to throw. Everybody's coming over the middle. Albritton, touchdown! When you send everybody, you're going to have a one-on-one. And Albritton beat it.
He beat it with a post route, and what great speed. Look, he threw it right. Sieber threw right where he had it to, right into the camera. Albritton beat Geiger, which is not an easy task to do, and Albritton with a touchdown. His first touchdown catch of the game, and once again, the Tigers are closing the gap here on the Eagles.
Quentin Weatherford on for the extra point. That'll be out of the hole to Rod Williams. Good snap, good hold, good kick. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half, and Evangel 16, Independence 13 in the Class 3A state finals. Boy, this is a heck of a play.
A 15-yard toss from Sieber to Albritton on that post route, and they went 80 yards in 6 plays, 2:12 off the clock. The final toss was a 15-yarder from Sieber to Albritton. Extra point was good. 3:30 to go here in the second quarter, Doug, and they've closed the gap. The Eagles over the Tigers, 16-13. Good look right there at Antron Sieber.
This is the way it's supposed to be, isn't it? Number 1, number 2, close, tough. Sieber ready to kick off again from the north side 40 here at the Superdome.
Charles Bagley, in his 19th season with the Tigers.
Geiger back deep, will take it in at the 3. Looking for the near side, good block. Gets him to the 25, to the 26. Nice shoulder high tackle by Brandon Dawson. Eagles will take over 1st and 10, just shy of their own 27-yard line. And Berlin, who has been doing a lot of throwing, will be doing some more here momentarily.
He certainly will. Good block right there. Applied for Geiger, line him and give up the field. That was Nehemiah Rogers. Geiger, what an athlete he is. And we said he probably is no mental mistakes, great coverage ability, and probably one day maybe playing on the Superdome floor on Sunday afternoons.
8 of 14 is Berlin. An interception for 79 yards. Back to throw. All the time in the world, going for it all down the near sideline. Albritton almost had another pick at the 30. You know, he already had one pick, and he dropped one earlier in the end zone where Evangel ended up scored a touchdown, and he dropped that one there at the 30-yard line.
What a great battle this is between Albritton and Corey Berlin. Once again, this is his first year, Albritton, his first year of football, and Corey Berlin, 6 feet, is already committed to Louisiana Tech and will be playing on Saturday afternoons. And here's Brock Berlin back at the...
Again, he goes in the shotgun. 2nd down and 10 at the 27. 5 receiver set. Berlin now yelling instructions and could be changing the play here. Now he may be changing it back. He better hurry, he's running out of time. Zips it on the crossing pattern, got it. That's Corey Berlin, his brother. Complete on about a 10-yard completion, maybe 11 near the 38-yard line. As Otto Bonds comes up from his cornerback position to make the stop, the junior.
And he knew just where he needed to be, the right amount of yardage. Corey Berlin comes down with it. Yet another catch and finds a seam right there. Comes up with a big catch and a first down for the Eagles.
3:08 to go, first half. Evangel with a 16-13 lead and the ball at their own 37.5-yard line, 1st and 10. The 5 receiver set again for Berlin. There you see him. May have been some motion on the line. We're not sure who moved first. But for sure, somebody jumped across the defensive side of things. Antoine Courtney jumping across, but was he drawn off? We'll be told.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense, penalized 5 yards.
Antoine did it all on his own.
Well, he was trying to anticipate the count and just jumped a little prematurely, but once you get 270 pounds moving, you're not going to stop it too in a hurry, you know?
Okay, I'm watching his snap here. See how strong this guy throws the ball.
There's no emergency brake on that.
He'd probably skid anyway, would he? Berlin on this 1st and 5 runs all the way over to the near side to talk to Tremaine McGill, his junior flanker. Back to throw, only a 3-man rush. Evades it, zips it upfield. There's McGill. First down. Not a bad toss, not a bad play. It all ends up with a big gain as DeVarius Best comes up to make the stop.
And Tremaine McGill was the hot receiver right here. That's what he went over and talked with him about. He was his first receiver he was looking at. 6'3", 180 pounds. He's another one of those basketball players. All district as a forward for the Eagles. His future is in football. His first year playing, but he will be back in 1998. Only a junior, Doug.
A 20-yard gain, 1st and 10 Evangel as the clock runs with 2:15 to go in the first half. They're at the 38. Berlin again, good protection. Over the middle, his brother Corey makes the catch near the 25, dives for a 13-yard gain and a first down.
You know, you had the Booties here, Josh and Abram Booty, and now you have Brock and Corey Berlin. And Brock, really good vision, good setup, good release. Boy, his mechanics are outstanding, and he's only a sophomore. And again, he's following the footsteps of Philip Dees. He's got 50 touchdown tosses on the season. Dees, who is now playing as a backup, a redshirt freshman at University of North Carolina. And Brock Berlin, the sky's the limit with this young man.
1st and 10, just shy of the 25 of Independence. Again, the 3-man rush. Berlin fakes, goes near side. It's Lewis, out of bounds. Good attempt by Lewis, because he was well out of bounds. You know, good reason why so many great quarterbacks come out of Evangel. They got coached by a great quarterback, and Denny Duron.
From Louisiana Tech, and Brock Berlin puts it just a little bit on the shade outside, but great separation speed by Jelani Lewis from the defensive back.
Coming right in your living room.
He just ran out of real estate. But the great separation is he was right near the edge there, but shows what kind of athletic ability he is. You know, he's got visits scheduled to Louisiana Tech, SMU, and Arkansas. Jelani Lewis. 2nd
and 10, Berlin back to throw. Zips it near side. He's got a man open, but underthrows him as Justin Hermes had done the curl at the 5, but the ball ended up at the 10, and it falls incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now. That stops the clock with 1:39 to go in the first half. Evangel up 16-13. What a heck of a 3A state championship game. I really don't think you could have asked for anything better when you have the 2 unbeaten teams at 14-0 coming into the game, number 1 and number 2, and they're battling it all the way down to the wire right now in the first half. Berlin back in the shotgun with 5 receivers set again. He'll roll out near side, buy some time, zips it to his brother Corey, who tiptoes out of bounds at the 14. That'll be enough for a first down as he picks up 11 yards. Defending on the play again was Charles Tofield.
That was working that sidelines, and that ball was thrown right where it had to be thrown. Corey Berlin working the sidelines, and this is a great precision route. Throws it a timing route.
Zip.
As he makes the cut, and there's not much Tofield can do to defend against a play like that.
No, it didn't.
He's coming back.
And a penalty is called at the line. They'll call it at the 25-yard line. So the preliminary call going against Evangel, and the completion will not stand. 1:34 to go in the first half.
Ineligible downfield on the offense, penalized 5 yards, repeat the down.
One of your linemen go downfield, that doesn't work. 5-yard penalty, that'll set up a 3rd down and 15 instead of a 3rd down and 10. That did not make Dennis Dunn happy.
Some pretty smiling faces that adorn the Superdome floor this evening.
Hadn't even looked up here yet, have they?
And they won't.
3rd down and 15. The Independence crowd getting into it on the far side, and now the Evangel crowd does the same. Berlin runs over to the far side and says something to Hermes and sends him the other way. 3rd and 15. 3-man rush. It's coming. Berlin will run. No, he'll throw. To the end zone. Almost got it. A diving attempt by his brother Corey Berlin in the end zone on a jump pass from the younger brother.
And what athleticism. He showed great escapability as he rolls to the left and kind of jumps up a little bit, throws again across the bow. Watch, he's going left, going right. This was a very difficult throw to make. He stops, well, doesn't really stop. His momentum is going one way. He throws, and that was a very difficult pass. He got a little shot right there, a little love tap. And his brother Corey could not come up with the pass, but a very difficult play. 4th down for the Eagles.
And 15, and they're going for it at the 30 of Independence with 1:01 to go in this first half. Evangel up 16-13. Berlin calling the shots. 4 receivers out. He sends 5 in a pattern. All day. He goes for it all over the middle. Lewis, boom, hit, but did he catch it? Yes. First down, Evangel. Lewis was unloaded on and still made the catch.
He ran a seam route, and there's not much you can do when a guy makes a grab like that. Berlin threw it just where he had to. Boy, he threaded the needle on this throw, and Jelani Lewis comes up with yet another big grab. This is why he was. We had such high expectations of Jelani Lewis. Look, caught it, took a shot right there.
Devarius Best really wrapped him up. It'll be 1st and goal at the 6. The clock running with 42 seconds to go in the first half. Berlin back in the shotgun again. Back to throw, over the middle, wide open Hermes, touchdown. .34 seconds on the first half clock.
Touchdown toss number 51 as he finds Hermes. Hermes with his 4th touchdown grab of the 1997 campaign. This with 34 ticks to go, and puts the Eagles up 22-13 with the extra point try upcoming.
Wow. Beautiful throw again. And I believe there's an equipment problem on the field right now. Everybody's sort of huddling around, and it's not to call a play. Maybe a contact on the field. I've seen that before, but on a basketball court, but you don't see him look for it too often on a football field. But it looked like James McKeel was kneeling down looking for a contact.
Hope he found it.
Yeah. You stick it in your mouth, says Paul Page. Put it back in. He just did.
Here's the extra point, the swinging gate, if you will.
With 34 seconds to go in the first half, Evangel can increase that lead to 10. Brad Cobb can hit this one here. Out of the hold of Mike Moore. The keel snap is good, so is the hold, and so is the kick. 34 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles have opened up their largest lead, 23-13 over Independence. This is the 3A state championship game. With 34 seconds to go in the first half of play, an impressive drive by the Eagles that drive it right down the throat of Independence.
73 yards in 8 plays, Doug. 2:56 off the clock. And a final toss, 7 yards from Brock Berlin, rather, to Justin Hermes. The extra point try was good. 34 seconds to go before the halftime break, and Evangel with a 23-13 lead over Independence.
And there was a flag thrown on the extra point for roughing the snapper. You can't rough the guy snapping the ball in high school football. To protect that guy, and so now a 15-yard penalty will be assessed against Independence, and Evangel will kick off from the 45 of the Tigers. Would you put it past Dennis Dunn to try an onside kick?
I don't think he'll do it this time.
No? Okay, all right. Just curious.
Of course, I picked the Germans in the Second World War, so what do I know?
You know, I've never heard you say that. Cobb to kick off from the north side 45. Yes, the north side 45 to our left. And can't tell whether he's going to do it onside or not. Nope, he'll just kick it through the uprights if he can. It's good. And Independence will take over first and 10 at their own 20. The Tigers have 1 timeout and 80 yards to go with 34 seconds on the first half clock.
And that vaunted, we'll give another look at that dangerous Independence offense, really, with LeBrandon Tofield can't get on track yet. 34 seconds to go, but
and Seaver brings him up to the line. Tofield, the lone setback. Double tight end set. And Seaver to throw. He'll throw against the grain the other way, and it's picked off. That's a touchdown. Congratulations, Philip Maxwell, the middle linebacker, who's only a freshman, gets the pick and runs it back.
And they say he may be the best linebacker ever before he leaves. Who does he remind him of? Ronnie Alexander's son, Bubba Alexander, who signed with Texas A&M, will be playing for the LSU Tigers next year. They say he's in that same mold. Philip Maxwell, watch for him 3 more years after this.
That ball just a little underthrown. Nice tip up by Maxwell. It looked like Tofield was open out there too.
Only a freshman. Boy, he's going to be good.
And now the extra point. Boy, that is a tough one for Independence, isn't it? It's got to be tough for the Tigers right before the half to have that happen.
It took 10 seconds off the clock, too.
Ooh. Cobb on for the extra point again. And it's now a 17-point Evangel advantage. Eagles 30, Tigers 13 with 24 seconds to go in this first half, the 3A state championship game. What a nice play by Evangel.
Look at this. No one is beyond Tofield between him and the goal, so had that toss been a little bit higher, this would have been turned around. It would have been
6 points the other way, maybe.
6 points
yeah?
the other way, so
Yeah.
it would have been a 14-point swing.
Instead, Maxwell gets the touchdown as he does a nice job of tipping it up in the air and picking it off. Like you said, that ball would have been laid up just a little bit more. It could have been 6 the other way for Tofield. You don't want to give that guy any open field, do you?
Yeah, but ifs and buts, what can you nuts?
I'm okay. Tofield gathers the ball inside the end zone, and that means it'll be a touchback again for Independence, who'll take over first and 10 at their own 20. Go ahead, say the rest.
What a wonderful Christmas this will be. Okay, I feel better now.
I knew you would.
24 seconds.
So far, Tofield, 12 carries, 28 yards.
4 below his average. He's quite a weapon. 46 touchdowns, and what a tremendous strength he is. He's just a junior, but he's not just a speed guy. Great cuts. He runs under control. No one has ever caught him from behind, and he is the strongest member of the team. 475 squat, which shows what kind of lower leg strength he's got.
Tofield on the draw. Trying to break some tackles, gets up close to the 25. That could be the last play of this first half, depending on how Independence wants to play it. Probably will be, and in fact it will be, as Independence is already heading toward the locker room right now. This 3A state championship game finds the Evangel Eagles up by 17 at the half. Evangel 30, Independence 13 in the 3A state championship game of the Gatorade Superdome Classic. Second half ready to go. Evangel on top, 30-13 over Independence, and Evangel gets to receive at the 10, near the 15, at the 20, and then run out of bounds near the 22-yard line is Philip Geiger. Quick check of some of those first half stats as Independence and Evangel battle for the 3A state championship.
Total offense, Independence 141, Evangel 180 in first downs, 10 for Evangel, 6 for the Tigers, and time of possession 11 for Evangel, but they've made the most of their possessions. Of course, 1 touchdown was an interception return, and Independence with 13 minutes exactly time of possession.
That doesn't surprise you, though. They run the ball, so they're not going to have his right. Yeah. I formation. No, that's not. Faked you out, didn't they? That's Berlin back in the shotgun. Shuffle pass complete. Not much to go on for Nimi Rogers. Maybe a yard up to the 23-yard line. Berlin threw the ball, once or twice in the first half.
And then you see right here as he shuffles one off to Rogers, and Rogers with that escapability until Nathan Hatfield puts the brakes on him.
That's a flag on the play. The holding on Evangel will back them up back to their own 13-yard line. Let me correct that, the 12. That'll set up to first down and 20. In the first half, Berlin was 15 of 24 with 2 touchdowns and an interception. Leading rusher, Brock Berlin, 3 carries, 13 yards. That's Berlin in the shotgun on this 1st and 20. They'll try the wide receiver screen to the near side. Jelani Lewis looking for room at the 15, crunched at the 16, but still able to fall forward to near the 17-yard line. Good tackle that time by Independence Keith McLean to come up and surround him.
He came to put the brakes on him, and he came from his left linebacker position, his outside linebacker position. Converging on him was Tofield.
Good job.
And a great escapability until Ryan Joseph also defended on that play, but tackle made by Hatfield, or by McLean, I'm sorry.
Gain of 5, it'll be 2nd and 15 from the 17. Now Berlin stepping up to the line to try to maybe change the play. Quick look in, that's Lewis. Across the 20, and right there stopped hard. As jumping up to make the stop was Cameron Crockett. Correction, Ryan Joseph from his linebacker position, a sophomore. Well, there's a lot of sophomores on both of these teams. In fact, when you look at the defensive side of the Independence Tigers, there's a lot of seniors, but on the other side of the ball, there's a lot of sophomores.
They really are, and both teams have a tremendous amount of talent coming back for the 1998, and in many cases, 99 and 2000 seasons. So these teams will be heard from for many, many years to come.
3rd down after the gain up to the 20-yard line, 3rd and 12. 5 receiver set again for Brock Berlin. Back to throw again. 2-man rush, that's it, just 2 men. Berlin throws it way downfield, wide open. That's his brother Corey, and he'll go in untouched. Too much time. An 80-yard touchdown pass and reception. and about 55 of it in the air.
And that's his 52nd touchdown toss of the 1997 campaign. And when is it ever going to stop? What is he going to have before he leaves Evangel High School? Berlin rolling to his left, planting, tossing with perfect spiral. Look at that as it comes down, it finds his mark, and he is untouched, and no one close to him except Justin Hermes escorts him into the end zone.
Looks like one of the defenders had slipped on the play for Independence. And Evangel takes the opening drive right into the end zone. Cobb on for the extra point. No problem. 9:52 to go in the third quarter, and the Eagles have expanded their lead to 37-13. Evangel over Independence in the 3A state championship game of the Gatorade Superdome Classic.
On 4, Sunday night at 10:35 on Channel 4.
9:52 to go in the third quarter, and this one a big one of 80 yards. Didn't take long, did it?
3 plays to go 80 yards, 2 minutes and 8 seconds off the clock. The extra point was good. The 80-yard toss was 52nd touchdown pass of the season for Brock Berlin. It went to Corey Berlin. Extra point good. 9:52 to go. The Evangel Eagles 37-13 over Independence.
There's another one from Cobb that flies into the end zone untouched. He is now 6 for 6 in kickoffs that are touchbacks. That's not bad.
No,
I mean, that takes a huge weapon out of the Independence lineup by not allowing Tofield to run back kicks.
You and I remember a few years ago there was a young kicker on the field who was a junior at the time. What a pretty face that is.
No, she wasn't on the field, though.
No, and he kept kicking the ball not only through the end zone, through the uprights on kickoffs. His name, Wade Ritchie.
Mm-hmm. Back to throw. Looking downfield, has a man down there, but can't get it to him. Not much to go on for Siebert. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Independence now having to play catch-up. Not something they prefer to do. They'd much rather try to run the ball, but down 37-13. Maybe Coach Charles Baglio decided that he needs to open it up a little bit more.
Antron Siebert, he reminds you a little bit, Doug. Well, first of all, he's an all-district performer in football, baseball, and track. But you know who he reminds you of, and Coach Baglio even said it. He reminds you of a Michael Carr of Emit.
2nd and 10 at the 20. Here's Tofield off the right side. He's piled up by a trio of red-jerseyed Eagles. First up to make the stop was Mark Miller. 2 others join him.
And there's a good look at Antron Siebert. Will be back for the 1998 season and hands it off. Just
boom.
Really runs into a brick wall named Mark Miller. We mentioned just now about Michael Carr. Went to Emit and wound up signing with Clemson, University of Clemson, and before he took off. But what a tremendous talent he was. One of the better option quarterbacks and athletes in the state of Louisiana.
3rd and 8. Back to throw. Siebert looking for it all. Near sideline. Can he get it there? Nope. Instead, a couple of Eagles run into each other at the 45 and end up spread eagle on the turf.
That was Vincent and Geiger with a collision, and both knocked the ball free. It looked like Vincent had a decent shot at the ball. Siebert with a cannon for an arm. Good spiral, good rotation. Closest one right here is Siebert. Look, Geiger pops the ball loose, and I guess Albritton was supposed to be the intended receiver.
Albritton well overthrown on a 4th down and 8 now. Quentin Weatherford will be forced to punt again. Back deep to receive the punt will be Jelani Lewis and Philip Geiger. Short punt, hits at about the 45, but gets an Independence bounce. And Evangel will have excellent field position again at their own 47-yard line with 8:47 to go in the third quarter. Evangel up 37-13. Right before the end of the first half, Evangel put a couple of quick touchdowns on the board. How demoralizing was that?
Oh, it really comes out. And look, it's a good shot right here. Oh,
he did get it.
May have got a paw on it because he just changed the way the ball, the spin of the ball, and you can see right there. Yes.
How important, we'll talk about that in a moment. On this 1st and 10, Evangel at their own 47. Berlin puts a man in motion, that's Lewis. Straight back to pass. Looking deep, deep, deep down the middle. He's got a man down there, but Albritton almost gets another pick. That's the 3rd time he's gotten his hands on the ball with almost getting an interception. The 4th time he did it, he got one. But how important was it for Evangel to get those touchdowns before the end of the first half?
Well, it gave him a bit of a cushion, and all of the fact that they got one defensively kind of was a little demoralizing to the Tigers. Boy, Albritton, what an athlete he is. A nose for the ball, great instinct, great break of the ball. And again, his
you
first
never
year.
know. Yeah, you never know. He's only played football.
First year, but that was very demoralizing. It was an up boost to the Evangel Eagles.
Complete. That one on the far side to Richard Smith from Berlin. As the Tigers' Otto Bonds comes up from his corner position to make the tackle. Gain of only 2. That'll set up a 3rd down and 8 for Evangel at their own 49-yard line. The clock running 8:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Evangel Christian 37-13 over Independence in this 3A state championship game. Berlin back in the shotgun. 5 receiver set. 3 to the near side, the wide side. Back to throw. 3-man rush, pump, and throw. Complete, but was it out of bounds? It is out. Intended for Nemi Rogers over the far side. And it'll be 4th down and 8 now, and what a rare thing that we're seeing now. A punt by Evangel.
Doesn't happen very often, and dialing long for Rogers. Boy, he works that sideline, but he may have got a little bump before he went out of bounds, but it was incomplete nevertheless.
And into punt. I believe this is only Pittman's 2nd punt of the game. It is. And back deep to receive is Kenny Albritton near his 10. No rush at all. A knuckleball that Albritton covers at the 15 and is drowned in a sea of red. Oof. If he wouldn't have, though, that ball would have been down inside the 10 probably.
Discretion sometimes is been a part of valor. But he gutsy wide receiver and cornerback, and where are you going?
Nowhere right there. 35-yard punt. And Independence again getting the worst end of this field position battle. Will take over at their own 15-yard line, 1st and 10. It's just, you expect somebody like LeBrandon Tofield to just explode anytime soon. He still hasn't. Let's see if he does on this counter. Nope. He'll lose 2. Maybe 3. There's just too many red jerseys in there. Included amongst them was Chase Beasley, the strong safety.
And Chase Beasley comes from the offside. He comes crashing in as his job is to contain from the outside. He boxes in, and the junior makes the stop on him. He's great quickness, aggressiveness. He finds the ball immediately and fills that hole, and that's what his job is, and does it expertly. Only a junior. He'll be another one coming back in 98.
Albritton just checking in. He splits out to the far side. Eye backfield. Siebert back to throw. Albritton had it there, tipped off his hands at the 20, incomplete. Had a little bit of room to roam, too, but it just was a little bit too tall for him. And that stops the clock with 6:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. Evangel up 37-13 over Independence.
And you can see a great shot here by Antron Siebert, and that should have been his hands were not prepared to cup the ball and make the catch. There's a good shot at Coach Charles Baglio, and we've seen so much of Kenny Albritton. You know, he's a senior. He may be a dual sport athlete at the next level. He still has some great ability in basketball, and as well as you can see in football.
3rd and 13, Siebert rolling out. Got some pressure, zips it upfield, tipped away at the last minute. Intended for Williams over in the far side, but Ray Stone, the free safety, was able to come up and tip it away on a nice defensive play. That'll fall incomplete on a 4th and 13 coming up.
There's
a flag down, though. Hold on.
Ray Stone was in on that play, and senior, free safety.
Dennis Dunn likes what he sees. His team up by 24 here. A lot of discussion going on. It's like the NFL, huh? Where's the theme from Jeopardy when you need it? 6:50 to go in the third quarter. And Evangel up 37-13 in this Class 3A state championship game. Two teams coming in at 14-0 in this contest. The number 1 team in the state, Evangel, against the number 2 team in the state, Independence.
Got a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on both sides, offsetting.
All that discussion to decide that we're going to have a 4th down and 13. And Dennis Dunn will have it explained to him by the officials. It'll be 4th and 13 from the 13. And explanations are being handed out to both head coaches, even as we speak. You know, what's amazing about these two teams is how they just rumbled through the season.
Oh, undefeated, and it's no easy task in itself. And
no.
Of course, when you get to the playoffs, everyone's good there.
Oh, what a beauty of a punt. What a beauty. Quentin Weatherford cranks one across the 40, inside the 35, and it's still rolling. It just ran out of real estate over the far side. A 57-yard punt, and probably about 40 of that was in the air easily. Nice punt by Weatherford, right when he needed it, too, because he needed to get his team out of a hole.
And a great hang time. That was an outstanding kick at any level. We haven't seen too many punts executed that well
no.
in any day, whether it be a Friday, Saturday afternoon, or even a Sunday here in the Superdome. Pretty little smile.
Part of the Superdome crowd here this evening at the Gatorade Superdome Classic. 1st and 10 at the 30. Berlin now set up between a pair of his running backs, and he'll hand it off to one of them. Not much going, but a little bit of a squirt for Nimi Rogers. Across the 30, near the 34, a gain of 4 on the play. Finally brought down by Keith McLean from his linebacker slot. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Just on the delay, not much going there, but enough for 4 yards.
And the sophomore Rogers picks up a nice little jaunt. Is very powerful, explosive runner.
Berlin set way back in that shotgun, as he has been just about all game long, with a rare exception. Just a 3-man rush, far side. There again is Rogers across the 40, and a 1st down across the 45 to near the 47-yard line, where he is pushed out of bounds on the far side by Lionel Joseph.
Rogers shows that now that he can run with the ball, Doug. He comes out of the backfield on the flat and makes a little good catch. His 32nd catch of the season. Scoots up the sidelines, and a little different dimension, a little bigger back, 188 pounds on a 5'9" frame, and picks up the 1st down for the Eagles.
188 on 5'9", it's good muscle. Berlin back to pass. Across the middle, has his man, his brother Corey, and it's complete at near the 41-yard line for another 1st down. Gain of 12. It'll be 1st and 10 Evangel. I want to show you something here, Renee. This is the stats page that our statistician Paul Page had to use. He didn't get to use his normal one because it wouldn't fit all the times that Evangel would be throwing the ball. And he's still running out of room using an 8.5 by 14.
You could
sideways.
You could fill a 50-page notebook with that. I tell you, does a great job with the wide receivers Evangel. That is Chris Tilley. The name rings a bell, I'm sure.
Used to be at Louisiana Tech, brother of Pat. And on the end around goes Richard Smith. He'll pick up 8 up near the 33, but there's a flag on the play. Clip, Evangel. 4:53 to go, third quarter. Eagles up 37-13 over Independence.
By David
This
Copeland.
one's pace starting to slow just a little bit in this 3A state championship game. You know, Independence is in the position in this contest to win its first ever state championship if they are able to come away with a victory here.
Good shot right there. It's a toss back to
There's the clip right there.
Smith and hit from behind. Paid the price on that one.
The clip brings it back to the Evangel 47.5-yard line, so it'll be first down and 22. In the shotgun, Berlin again. Finds a man open, that's Rogers. Near the 50, drugged down there, and a nice hanging on for dear life tackle by Nathan Hatfield, the senior linebacker. Good job by Hatfield not to give up.
You know, we talk so much about the assistant coaches, and Coach Baglio surrounds himself with some outstanding talent. Keith Corona, Sam Messina, Mike Young, Joe Levine, Greg Williams, Johnny Santangelo, Ron Genko, Shane Smith, and Stuart Regard do an outstanding job on the Tiger staff.
Well, you know, this Independence team has put some points on the board too in the postseason. We'll get to that momentarily. On the second down after the gain of 6, second and 16. At the Independence 48, Berlin, deep drop, 3-man rush, hit as he throws, complete anyway. No, it wasn't. It was broken up at the last minute. I really thought that Evangel's Jelani Lewis had a chance at that ball, but instead he was tipped away at the last minute.
And Antoine Courtney bringing on the heat and really came barreling down. Look, he fights off the blocker, and he also was joined by Antoine Smith. And the pass was incomplete.
Night rush, that's the first time Berlin really has been wrapped up in a while. Third down and 16 now. Evangel at the Independence 47.5-yard line. That's Berlin in the shotgun again. Pumps once. Looks over near side. It's complete and a flag down as Justin Hermes dives for the ball near the 43. There's a flag down. I believe that they're going to call Hermes as being an ineligible receiver because both receivers were on the line of scrimmage, says
Sure. You're right.
Paul Page. He's right.
We talked about James McKeel a little while ago. 3 of his predecessors.
Woke me up there.
Well, I want to mention this because he's done such a great job. McKeel, 3 of his predecessors, and he's blocking here. Brock Berlin delivers the ball a little bit low, but makes the catch. But 3 of his predecessors are playing at the college level. That is James Landers, an All-American at Northeast Louisiana. Mark Workman, who does some deep snapping at LSU. And Tony Aaron, who performs his duties at Southern Arkansas. And they feel that James McKeel may be the best of the lot, even though this is his senior year. But he is an outstanding center and will be one on the next level.
The flag declines, so the completion stands. It'll be 4th down and 12, and for only the 3rd time in this game, Cole Pittman will punt. Not much of a rush. High wobbler. Albritton calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 15. They'll call it the 16 officially. So a 26-yard punt. And no return, and Independence will take over there. They've sort of stalled here in the second half. In fact, the second part of the second quarter they stalled. But the first quarter and a half they did pretty darn well. And then ever since then they've sort of calmed down. The offense not really finding any synchronization there.
Well, Tofield for Independence is such a great talent, and you're just waiting for him to bust out. And they have really kept him, they've stymied the rushing attack. Evangel has done a great job on the Tiger rushing attack.
Roll it out, your quarterback, he'll run it all the way. He's at the 20, across the 30, and a first down. And the most exciting run we've seen in this half for Independence. As Sieber's able to pick up a good 17, 18 yards across the left side on a quarterback keeper all the way. I don't think this was a pass, do you?
No, it was a run all the way. And look, the great downfield occupying block by Rod Williams, wide receiver. What a great, tough block.
It sure is.
And he occupied the defensive back and allowed Sieber to scoot up for a first down.
And Maxwell comes up to make the stop. 1st and 10 at their own 34 for Independence. I backfield. Here's Tofield. Right side, runs over a man to near the 38-yard line for a gain of 4. We'll call it 3 as they stop him at the 37. So a second down and 7 coming up. But again, Tofield just really not much to go on.
They're filling the lanes, they're filling the gaps, and not giving him many seams to run through, and they're shutting the door on him. And, you know, Adam Allen, along with a couple of red-shirted Eagles, put the hat on him, put the brakes on him for a short gain. Third down is that third down, and second down, that's what I said.
That's what I thought you said. And 6 after the gain of officially 4 now. That's Seaver back to pass, tries and doesn't find Rod Williams as a flag flies in the offensive backfield, and then a second flag will fly afterwards. Looks like some complaining was being done by one of the Evangel Eagles. But there's 2 flags in the offensive backfield right now, 2 of them.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the red. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the red.
Whoa, that'll tell you.
And Coach Dunn is not happy with that call, and I'm quite certain he will address that situation.
30 yards worth of penalties.
Gets a shot to the chops right there as he comes barreling in from the right side.
Right in the chin, you can't do that.
Yeah, he hit him in the above the neck, and they don't want to see that, so they'll put a halt to that. Coach Dunn.
That's going to be a 30-yard penalty if they count it all up from the 38-yard line. That's the biggest offensive play of the second half for Independence right there. Wow. A first down now for the Independence Tigers at the Evangel 32-yard line. Their first time in Evangel territory in this half. It's 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Evangel up 37-13 in this 3A state final game. Back to throw goes Siebert. Looking for an all, near side, Albritton jump ball, picked off. And they're going to have a flag thrown after the pickoff as Philip Geiger jumped in and got it and did a little spin job with the football after the interception.
And that's his 11th pick. Great cover man, good physical skills, no mental mistakes. I guess that would you'd consider that a mental letdown because Coach Dunn is going to address that. He doesn't want celebrating an unnecessary penalty, and that's what's going to happen there. Great leaping and timing ability right here. Geiger skies, and you got to do some leaping to out-jump Albritton.
Yeah. And that'll be half the distance to the goal from the 20-yard line. Because after the play, Geiger did a little spin of the football, so they'll count this one off another half the distance to the goal penalty from the 20. There's 2:01 to go in this third quarter. As Evangel finds themselves up 37-13. We've had a lot of officials and coaches talks in this ball game.
We have an interception in the end zone. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike after the interception. Penalized half the distance to the goal line. Red ball, first and 10.
Well, yeah, I guess when you have a lot of passing, Doug, not only does sometimes it slows the game down, but you have so many other things that can happen, and perfect example right there.
This game, which had a pretty quick pace in the first half, is slowed to a crawl here in the third quarter. Berlin in the shotgun. Back into his end zone. Near side, Lewis. He'll get up near the 20, and he'll have a first down to the 22. Nice second and third effort by Lewis to crawl past David Copeland, defensive end.
Well, he got five white-shirted Tigers surrounding him, and he found a way to wiggle out and squeeze through for a nice pickup and a first down. And you see Brock Berlin just keep firing away. And this young man is only going to get better, and it's tough to believe that he came in with 4,200 yards plus and 49 touchdowns as he entered this game.
First and 10 at their own 23 is where they call it. Berlin back to pass again. Over the middle, got his man. First down and more. That's Tremaine McGill, the junior, who gets across the 40 and up near the 46. Plenty enough for the first down of the big 24-yard gain. Finally brought down by Devarius Best from his free safety position.
And that's a big target, 6'3", 180-pound junior, Tremaine McGill. And he knows how to scoot up the field once he makes the catch, and does a pretty good job. Once again, a young, talented wide receiver with a basketball background, and we've got a whole slew of them in this game.
Berlin having one heck of a contest as expected, 25 of 37 for 324 yards. And now a flag down before we can ever get started. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to be Paul Page. I don't want to be this guy. He's doing all the work right now. You and I are just sitting back.
Dead ball.
And enjoying a good game.
Encroachment on the defense. Penalized 5 yards. First down.
Officiating crew, Doug, they're doing a great job. Some great officials, and they deserve to be here. They are excited to be here as the teams, coaches, and fans that support these teams.
The clock running again, or should be. And now it is with 55 seconds and counting to go in the third quarter. Eagles up 37-13 after that offsides penalty. It's 1st and 5 at midfield. Berlin, deep drop, 3-man rush. Now he's under pressure. Zips it near side, complete, bumped out of bounds is his brother Corey, but boy, what a tremendous throw again by Berlin. On the run, right on the money, and his brother Corey was nailed by Albritton after he caught the ball.
That had to be thrown right on a precise spot, and it was done just as it was drawn up. Great throw by Brock Berlin to Corey. You can see right here, throwing on the run.
Right on the money.
Right on the sidelines as he took a shot in the back and out of bounds. Only need 1 foot in bounds in high school.
His brother Corey now 10 catches for 187 yards. Berlin back to pass on the 1st and 10 from the 30. Under pressure, zips it down the field, picked off. That's Albritton. Tiptoeing up the sideline. He's up near the 25. He's got some room now. He's at the 30. Look out. Up near the 40. Near 47-yard line where Brock Berlin, the quarterback, nails him.
And
that's not a bad tackle for a quarterback.
Darn near decapitated him. I guess he said, you know, this is enough. And Brock Berlin showed why maybe I need to be a defensive back as well. Much too valuable for that.
What a great play by Albritton.
Wow.
Not to take anything away from Albritton. Look at this, tiptoeing up the sideline. Ooh.
Can't get much closer, Doug, without stepping out of bounds. And he picks up an entourage as he skates across the field. This was a heck of a return as he picked up some nice blocks. And there was an injured Independence player down as we look at the replay. But Albritton tucks it away in the right hand and
boom,
bang. What a good shot
just
there.
For the crowd. They're seeing it as you are. As you can tell that Berlin, not exactly happy. So he said, I'll take it out on you.
That's a payback right there, buddy, from all the shots he took.
And the defense is on the field, and they're saying, come on out here. Come on, Brock, we could use you. The Independence player that's on the field has not moved. Let's take a break with 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. Evangel 37, Independence 13 of the Class 3A Gatorade Superdome Classic Championship game. Ryan Joseph hurt on the play. Here's what happened right here. Looks like a leg problem. His leg just sort of collapsed underneath him there.
And that may be due to the surface. Sometimes those shoes, you know, the bottom of the shoes kind of get a little sticky on this surface, and that may have happened. Hope it's just a sprain, or maybe, hopefully it's not as severe as it looks.
From another angle, after the pickoff. Number 20 is who you're looking for. Right there. Looks like a knee buckling on him. On a 1st and 10 carry, Tofield looking for some room. Can't find any across his own 47 to near the 48-yard line. He'll pick up one, maybe. after the interception by Albritton puts Independence in good field position, but they just have not done much offensively. We have 12 more minutes to play in this one. Evangel leading 37-13 over Independence, the Class 3A State Championship Gatorade Superdome Classic. The final 12 minutes of play has the Evangel Christian Academy Eagles up 37-13 over the Independence Tigers as we view the final 12 minutes of the State 3A Championship game. Doug Joubert, Renee Nato here at the Superdome in the Gatorade Superdome Classic. We saw a really classic first quarter and a half, but since then Evangel has taken control. Independence 2nd and 8 here. Rolling out, Sieber looking for room, he'll run. Won't get the first down, but he'll pick up about 5 yards. Maybe 4, driven out of bounds in Evangel territory at the 48.
Mantron Sieber escapes contained with his 4.5 speed, gets outside and shows why he's so dangerous. You know, he can kill you with his feet or his arm.
Well, he's got a real good arm, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a cannon for an arm, and you know, he'll be better quarterback in 1998 as a senior. And 1653 yards, 25 touchdowns. And the time of possession, 21 minutes, 17 seconds for
Evangel.
And 14:43 for the Tigers.
We'll check those rest of the stats in a moment as Sieber goes back to pass and throws it incomplete on an attempted screen pass far side. That one sort of failed from the beginning. Tofield was the intended receiver. A trio of Evangel Christian Eagles over there to break this one up. Here it comes right at you.
He let him hanging out to dry here, and he got really double teamed. In yardage, the Eagles 385, 345 of that coming via the air, and for the Independence Tigers, 156 total offense, 116 in the air, 40 yards on the ground.
But you know, Coach Baglio would not want 116 yards passing. He'd rather see that on the rushing side.
Exactly, and you would have thought Tofield would have had a better game, but the scheming of the defensive coaches on the Evangel's team did an outstanding job, did their homework.
Tofield with 37 total yards in the game. Sieber back to pass, is hit as he throws it, and it falls incomplete. And it'll be 1st and 10 Evangel on that 4th down and 4 pass attempt by Sieber. The crowd for Evangel getting into it now. Sieber in trouble from the first time he got the ball.
And the blitz really got to him. Here's Kurt Coleman right here. He's joined the backfield. That looks like Mark Miller once again. What an outstanding game he has had. And Kurt Coleman, the starter last year, has been somewhat in a backup role this year. 3.8 grade point average for Kurt Coleman.
Ooh.
And all district, all city, all parish in 1996. So he's had a great year last year, and his senior year has been just as good.
1st and 10, Evangel at their own 48, taking over on downs with 11:38 to go in the game. Up 37-13. Berlin back to pass. He finds Hermes on the in route, hit at the 50, and then dropped there. As he's driven back by a trio and then 4 different Tigers. One of the first to get there was Otto Bonds, the cornerback. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up. Evangel shooting to win consecutive state championships. This will be the 2nd time in school history if they can do it.
And Otto Bonds puts the hat on him, but can't contain him as Hermes shakes the tackle loose and finally comes back and makes the tackle. But looking at Independence employing their nickel package, and Evangel has still had an outstanding job passing.
2nd down and 8 at midfield. Britton back to pass, some pressure, finds Hermes at the 50. Driven out of bounds and Independence territory at the 45 for a pickup of 5. That'll set up a 3rd down and 3 coming up as the clock stops with 10:47 to go in the game. Eagles up 37-13.
It's so tough for the Independence defensive team to try to stop this wide open attack of the Evangel Eagles, because not only do they spread you out and stretch that defense, but they have so many outstanding athletes that can make big plays to kill you, and there's Charles Tofield making a good defensive play. He's had an outstanding game this sophomore.
We've called his name a lot. 3rd and 3 at the Independence 45. Berlin, deep drop. 3-man rush under pressure. Looking long, got his man. Touchdown, Richard Smith. He just beat his man deep, Lionel Joseph. And what a great pass again from Berlin.
Richard Smith with that 4.4 game-breaking speed, 61 catches on the season, 23 make that 24 touchdowns, and he has come out of nowhere to be an outstanding prospect, and he will be back for his senior season. He's down on his knees to give thanks for the ability he possesses. Richard Smith, what a good receiver he is.
And Brad Cobb on for the extra point. Out of the hold of Mike Moore. No problem. 10:37 to go in this ball game, and the Eagles have opened it up. Evangel 44, Independence 13 in the state 3A championship game of the Gatorade Superdome Classic. Doesn't take much for the Evangel Christian Eagles to explode, does it?
No, it takes 61 ticks off the clock to go 52 yards, 3 plays, and Brock Berlin throwing his 53rd touchdown toss to that man right there, Richard Smith, the junior, who caught a 52-yard toss. Extra point good, 44-13, Evangel over Independence.
And a line drive squibber that Tofield takes at his 5. He's probably glad to see the ball. Maybe not, as he's surrounded at the 15 and wrapped up near the 14. A lot of red jerseys down there, and you could tell these youngsters from Independence, their heads are hanging right now, and they're very disappointed with 10.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, down 44-13. But this isn't the time to hang your head. You got to just suck it up and keep going.
Well, you know what? They don't find themselves in this situation when they come into this game 14-0, and not many teams are just glad to be here. They just want to come with a win. And it's easy to see why there's a good chance that Evangel may move up to the 5A classification. They are loaded with talent, and that'll be their call because of the size of the school. They can stay where they are, but good opportunity, good chance that they may move up to 5A classification.
And there goes Tofield with a little bit of a jaunt, as Renee Nato would say, across the 25 to near the 26. Pickup of 12, it'll be enough for a first down. Did you mind me using jaunt there?
Don't use it again. That was Tofield's. A nice run by Tofield and showed what kind of leg strength he has. And we talked about what kind of drive. He's got 475-pound squat, which is all in those thighs. And when he hits you, wow, you feel it. He attacks that defense.
Gain of 12. It'll be 1st and 10. Independence at their own 26-yard line. That's the second longest run from scrimmage for Tofield. On the end around, a little bit of room. A 30 to the 33-yard line as Kenny Albritton finds himself a little bit of a seam for about a 7-yard run. Beasley comes in to make the tackle. The clock continues to run with 9 minutes and 40 seconds in this game.
And Beasley took on the blocker and did a great job containing right here. Look at this. Holds the blocker up, disposes of him, and makes the tackle. That's the way you play outside linebacker, strong safety, which he's employed. 5'10", 187. Just a junior, he'll be back again.
2nd and 3 from the 33. I formation for Independence. That's Tofield looking for the first down. Won't find it this time as he's brought down near the 35 after a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and a very long yard to go as the clock continues to run. Evangel up 44-13 over Independence in this state 3A championship game at the Gatorade Superdome Classic.
Byron Dawson moves on, Doug. He's a senior moving on to college. But Steve Lee, the sophomore, 6'5", 295, number 65 returns, 350 bench, 500 squat, powerful. He can dominate. Blue chipper, 1999.
Back to throw, complete, and out of bounds immediately on the catch for Independence is Lionel Joseph. Seaver found him on the crossing pattern, on the out pattern that is, and got the first down up near the 41.
And this is a good throw right here by Seaver to Joseph.
He's got a great arm.
He does have great arm, great touch, and threw it right where it needed to be thrown for a nice pickup. First down, Independence.
That's his first completion of the second half after attempting 7 passes. 1st and 10, Independence at their own 41. Sieber under tremendous pressure, rolling out now. He'll run. A little bit of room. He steps out of bounds at his own 45. There's just a lot of pressure coming up on him up the middle. It just seems like it's like a sieve that a defensive line is just running right through the offense.
Well, they're blitzing. I mean, they only have so many blockers, 5 blockers, and they've got 8 men coming. Look at this.
There's Luke.
All-out blitz. Just all-out selling out. Here comes Maxwell, and as well as Marco Coley from his inside linebacker position. And to show you what kind of speed, look at this. He breaks contain and gets inside, steps out of bounds, but 4.5 speed and maybe faster.
Yeah.
Quick feet. Very quick feet.
Gain of 4. Second down 6 at their own 45. Independence. Clock stopped with 8:29 to go in this game. Let's try the counter with Tofield. Hit in the backfield and drop for a yard loss. They may give him back to the line. Tofield just has had no chance at all to get any head of steam up. Just none at all. Looks like he's having a little bit of a cramp problem, too.
This is a new experience for Tofield. He hasn't seen this. All his lanes are full. I mean, and here comes Adam Allen filling in from the outside, making the stop on the big junior, 6 foot, 220-pound LeBrandon Tofield.
Tofield now 20 carries, 50 yards. Third down, 6 at the 45. It's a long 6. And Sieber back to throw. Has a man over there, All-Britain, but it goes between his hands and incomplete near the 50-yard line, so it'll be 4th down and 6 now. And with 7:43 to go in the game, what do you do?
Throw the ball.
Just keep going.
Ray Stone was the guy who just made that defensive play, and he's another first-year player. He's playing safety, employed in the defensive backfield. Will be a quarterback at the next level. All-State in basketball and Louisiana Tech, USL Northeast Louisiana. Tulane and McNeese are among his suitors. And another one that may play both sports on the next level. Just a good athlete and great feet, always learning. 4th
and 6, and Independence going for it. Everybody coming. Sieber running for his life. Zips it upfield to nobody in particular. It falls incomplete, and Evangel will take over with 7:34 to go in the game. 7:33, actually. And it's a 44-13 Evangel advantage.
Really not much Sieber can do as Marco Coley comes shooting from the inside. In fact, they got a safety blitz with Adam Allen coming from a strong safety position. Sieber just throwing it out, airing it out, really trying to get rid of it to avoid the sack, and if he can hit someone, but no one near the ball.
Evangel 1st and 10 from the 45 of Independence. And Brock Berlin still in there. A 5 receiver set, 4 of them to the far side. 3-man rush, going for it all down the near sideline, and it sort of thrown to the wrong shoulder. Richard Smith went toward the inside, the pass went to the outside, and it falls incomplete. Still going for the points.
It'll be interesting if we see the young freshman, Brent Rawls, 6'4", 175 pounds, who is also one of the future quarterbacks here at Evangel. If the Eagles put any more points on the scoreboard just to get these young men experience in a championship game.
Well, they opened up the playoffs against Winfield, who is really a quality program, and just waxed them 62-0. They haven't scored below 37 points in a playoff game this year. Hermes on a quick jump catch at the 40. Nice move to the outside to get a 1st down at the 32. That's a 13-yard completion that Hermes really should have only been stopped for about a 5 or 6 yard gain. Nice move.
Great ballerina move, great balance as he turned it on and went into miss kind of in the other direction. But Brock Berlin hitting just where he needs to. Look at his stops.
Nice.
That is great body control, and he knows just where he's going. And that's Justin Hermes, again, just a sophomore, and missed 6 games during the season with a broken collarbone.
1st and 10 at the Independence 32. 7:17 and counting to go in the game. Berlin, Hermes again on the crossing pattern. This time stopped at the 20, just shy of it. He'll have another 1st down after an 11-yard gain. I tell you, Evangel could put up as many points as they want to, as impressive as their offense is right now.
You know, you got so many guys coming back. Nemi Rogers is a sophomore, he'll be back, as will Jermaine McGill, a junior. Justin Hermes, just a sophomore. So A lot of receivers will be coming back to wreak havoc on the other 3A teams around the state next year.
Wreak havoc. 1st and 10 at the 21. Berlin now 31 of 45. Make that 32 of 46. As he picks up another 7 yards for his 428th yard of this game passing. It'll be 2nd down and 3 coming up.
And here's Hermes, once again, the hot receiver in Berlin. Looks straight at him. He's the only guy he was really considering, as he had a couple of receivers clear that zone for him, and finds the seam. Good catch.
Remember Mississippi Valley State?
Oh, yes.
Back in the
Archie
late
Cooley.
to mid 70s. Yeah, Archie Cooley. And Jerry Rice and Worrell Totten was the quarterback.
Willie Totten, right.
Willie Totten. Is this like that, what we're seeing here?
Somewhat, but touchdown right here.
As Brock Berlin finds Richard Smith in the end zone again.
Touchdown toss number 54, if I'm mistaken. And Richard Smith with yet another catch.
And another touchdown for him, too.
And he's got 25 on the season. Great vision here, and he looks him off. I don't know if that was the primary receiver, but he did find him open. And great throw right in the corner of the end zone when no one else can catch it but Richard Smith.
And a guy who probably will have to have his leg massaged after this game. He's been kicking so many extra points. Brad Cobb on. No problem again. 5:50 to go in this game, and Evangel has opened it up 51-13 over Independence in the 3A state championship game for the Gatorade Superdome Classic. On the kickoff, Independence taking over after the run back at their own 19-yard line, where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10, down 51-13 to the Evangel Christian Eagles in this 3A state championship game.
Another short drive, Doug, 45 yards in 4 plays, 1:43 off the clock, and another touchdown toss by Brock Berlin to Richard Smith. Extra point good. 5:41 remaining here in the game. And Evangel with a commanding 51-13 lead over Independence in the 3A title game here at the Superdome in the Crescent City.
Antron Seaver hands off to Tofield, who looks for a little bit of room off the left side and finds a little bit of room. Maybe a half a yard, not much more. 5:25 and counting to go in this one, as Independence finds itself down by a bundle. You're down by 38 points. Is not really a lot that you can do right here, except save face.
Well, you know, Evangel is looks like it appears to be coasting for his 5th state championship in 6 years.
And it's 2nd in a row.
Yes, and wow, what a powerhouse program they have, and not to take away from Coach Baglio and the Independence Tigers.
Long pass to Albritton on the far side, who comes up hobbling. It falls incomplete at the 35, setting up a 3rd down and 9 after that incomplete pass. You know, you see some great athletes over there on the Independent sideline that Coach Baglio has been putting together. Some great athletes, but boy, there's only so much you can do to try to stop Evangel, and they're proving it already. Evangel has scored 62, 49, 41, and 37 points in the playoffs, and now in the state championship game against the best team that the state can muster, they've put 51 points on the scoreboard. That's pretty awesome. 3rd down and 9 for Sieber and his Independence Tigers. Back to throw again under pressure. Gets it away. Almost complete. What a nice toss at the very last second. The ball falls out of the hands of Quentin Weatherford, though, his tight end. It would have been enough for a 1st down.
And that was a little bit of lady luck smiling on him as he rolled to the left and just eluded the outstretched arms of Adam Allen.
That was close.
Boy, I tell you, almost made that catch, too.
Yep, that was a nice throw. And a 4th down and 9 coming up, and Back onto the field comes Quentin Weatherford to punt. Back deep to receive in return formation for Evangel, Jelani Lewis and Philip Geiger. That's Lewis. Watches the ball bounce at the 40 and then recover it there. You can do that. He's at the 40-yard line as flags fly up the sideline, near side. He could score. Nope, he's brought down by the punter Weatherford at the 6, but hold on, there's flags down at the 33.
Woo! That was risky. That is, you have to have ice water going through your veins to be a punt return specialist, and Jelani Lewis just proved that.
I don't know if you realize this. Paul Page leaning over to me is saying, the statistician says that Evangel officially has a Class 1A enrollment and plays up to the 3A level. So if they did bounce up Evangel Christian next year, they'd have to wait till next year. If they did bounce up in classification, they would have, that would be phenomenal for them to bounce up to a 4A, to either a 4A classification from 1A.
Personal foul on the white, on the run back, penalized half the distance to the goal, first down.
Jelani Lewis took it right here, took a shot, which did knock him down, and that was best, couldn't knock him down. And now he gets an escort up the sidelines. Philip Geiger up ahead of him in company, and that's Rod Williams just trying to get in someone's way, and here comes Charles Tofield. And they just clipped him at his heels.
And the penalty marks it down to the 3-yard line, 1st and 10. And Berlin will kneel. If this plays out, that's a class move. If it plays out this way and continues, nice move, then it's done. By the way, Berlin, if he throws 3 more passes complete, will tie the Superdome Classic record. 3 more completions would tie the Superdome Classic record. It's 2nd down and goal from the 5 now as he watches the clock run down to 3:50 and counting. Taking his time, he'll kneel again at the 6. I really like this touch by Dennis Dunn. I like this. It's not necessary to score another touchdown. No use to add insult to injury.
Well, I'm sure the fans are not happy with that, but it does show a class move. Good look at Coach Dunn right there.
I like that. Good job, Dennis. I know if I'm the opposing coach, I appreciate it. 3:10 and counting to go in the game. And Berlin kneels again. I wonder if his coaches realize that he's that close to breaking a record. We'll have to double check on those records. That's 35 pass completions in a game between 2 teams for most pass completions in a classic record. So I have a funny feeling as of right now, Berlin has surpassed that. And on a 4th down and goal from the 7, let's see what they do this time. They'll kneel and give it right back to Independence. 4 straight kneels by Berlin, going 4 straight downs backwards. And a nice round of applause for the class move by Dennis Dunn and his Evangel Christian Academy Eagles. 2:21 to go in the game. Evangel up 51-13.
A lot of happy seniors for the Evangel Eagles are glad to be a part of this. James McKeel and Corey Berlin, along with Jelani Lewis on offense, just as they walk off the field for maybe the last time. Byron Dawson will be moving on. He's on defense. He'll be moving on to the next level, as will Kurt Coleman may get his shot in college as well. Most of the other guys are coming back. Ray Stone will be the only lone defensive back moving on in college. Everyone else returns in the defensive backfield for the Eagles.
And Tron Seaver lines up his Independence Tigers on a 1st and 10, and Tofield will get the handoff across the 10 to the 15 to the 16 as he finds a little seam on the right side for a pickup of 8. The clock running with 2:10 to go in the game. It'll be a 2nd and 2 coming up.
Independence really wants to get back in this game. You're on the field with 2 minutes to go, and for some of these guys, the saddest part of the last season ending, good look at Charles Baglio. What a class act he is. But you know, for many, many guys, this will be the last time they'll put on a football uniform, and that young man will be back for another season.
Yeah, he'll be putting it on again next year. Here's Tofield, the left side. He'll have a first down over the 19 to near the 20-yard line. Gain of 3, maybe 4. Tofield slow getting up. The clock running with 1:30 to go. First down now. Been 32 actually. First down and 10. We have seen a record-setting performance by Brock Berlin of the Evangel Eagles tonight. And his teammates are excited about being the state 3A champions, which will be crowned 1:20 seconds from now. Handoff up the middle. I'll have to check to see who that was running the ball. That was a young man who I did not have written down before. That was Wells on the carry. Double check on that. Danny Wells, a senior fullback that ran for the first time tonight. He picks up a 3-yard gain across the right side up near the 23. 2nd and 7 with 40 seconds to go on the scoreboard clock in this game. Tofield right side. Bouncing to the outside, slips and falls at the line for no gain. That'll be a 3rd down now after no gain. 3rd and 7. The clock running, and in fact, Independence will not even have to snap the ball again if they prefer not to.
It's academic at this point, Doug. And two teams that deserve to be here, and the Evangel just flexed their muscles and shown why they were 13th rated team in the country by USA.
6, 5, 4, 3. The last play from scrimmage. Feinsteber rolling out for his life. And he'll try for something upfield. It's almost picked off but dropped, and that's the end of this one. The final score. The Evangel Christian Eagles 51 and Independence 13. The 3A state champions are from Shreveport, as Evangel Christian claims their 2nd consecutive state championship. There is a flag on the field, but don't know if we'll even play that out. There is a flag down in the field, and the officials are talking it over right now. But it's sort of anticlimactic right now. You just go ahead and blow off the flag and just let everybody go in, huh?
Well, we'll see if how the officials decide to rule this last. If it's a defensive penalty, of course,
you play another play. You can always refuse it. 38-point differential between these two teams. They're already starting to shake hands as the two teams are meeting at midfield. Coach Baglio saying, "Nah, don't worry about it." And that's the end of this one. Congratulations to the Evangel Christian Eagles, who have defeated the Independence Tigers by a 51-13 count. Let's go down to the field now for the presentation of the championship and runner-up trophies.
The Louisiana High School Athletic Association would like to once again thank State Farm Insurance and its Louisiana agents for sponsoring all state championship trophies and awards in the 23 sports of the LHSAA. At midfield, presenting the awards on behalf of State Farm agent Roger Navarro of Independence, State Farm agent Tag Rome of Bossier City, State Farm agent Benny Archie of Metairie, State Farm agent Ben Tullis of Shreveport, and State Farm agent Don Ashworth of Shreveport. The first award, the 1997 Class 3A runner-up state championship trophy, presented by State Farm agent Roger Navarre to Independence High School. Head coach Charles Baglio, principal Mitch Williams. The next award, the Independence Outstanding Player, presented by State Farm agent Benny Archie, goes to number 8, Kenny Albritton. The next award, the 1997 official game ball, the Baden Lexum 500, presented by State Farm agent Don Ashworth to Dennis Dunn. Head coach, Evangel Christian Academy. The next award, the Evangel Outstanding Player Award, presented by State Farm agent Ben Tullis to number 7, Brock Berlin. The final award, presented by State Farm agent Tag Rome, the 1997 State Farm AAA State Championship Trophy to the Evangel Christian Eagles. Once again, the LHSAA thanks all State Farm agents and State Farm Insurance for their continued support of high school athletics in Louisiana. Thanks to Gatorade, title sponsor of the Superdome Classic. And Baden, the official game ball, Sports Care, our official healthcare network, and Piccadilly for the new Piccadilly Cup All Sports Award.
Evangel Christian Academy, a 51-13 victor over Independence for the Class 3A state championship. Doug Joubert, Renee Nato here in the Superdome, and well, we had one heck of a ball game for about a quarter and a half, and then Evangel just turned on the Jets.
Well, they stressed that defense and flexed their muscles and completed some passes and showed what kind of athletes they have to get here. And the scary thing is, a lot of those guys who made big plays are coming back.
Evangel ends up 15-0, Independence 14-1. That means now 4 out of the last 5 years, Evangel has won state championships.
And the stats bear everything out. 468 yards total offense for Evangel, 203 yards for Independence, more than twice, and the score indicated everything. 51-13. Brock Berlin, the MVP in the game, just a sophomore, Doug, and wow, 54 touchdown passes on the season.
And in this game alone, he has set a classic record for most completions in a game for 32 pass completions. He tied the record that was set back in 1985 by a former Ouachita Christian quarterback of 46 attempts in a game. This kid can just throw it all over the place.
That quarterback, Saul Graves, went on to LSU. So we'll see what kind of futures Brock Berlin's going to have, but he's got some weapons coming back. And Charles Baglio, what a great class act he is. After 19 years in the coaching profession, gets here, deserves to be here, and his Independence team, you'll hear from them again in 1998.
Our thanks to our spotter, Ray Pratt, and also to our statistician, Paul Page, and the entire crew here at the Superdome. Great job, guys. The final score, Evangel Christian Eagles defeating Independence Tigers 51-13 in the Superdome Classic 3A Finals.